Hello and welcome everybody to Palisades Park, New Jersey for this regular season matchup between the Ottawa Black Bears and the New York Titans. Titans looking to clinch a MLQ championship berth at this series. Ottawa still looking there for their first win on the season. The Black Bears will be wearing black and defending the left-hand side. The Titans will be wearing white and defending the right-hand side. Alex Amadal will be the head referee, and I will get you the starting lineups as we see folks come out to the field. Looks like starting beaters for New York will be Jason Ng and Rachel Ayala Silver. As the chasers come out, looks like Shakti Kodeswaran, Annika Kim, Frank Minson, and yet to have a sixth player out there. Meanwhile, for Ottawa, it is going to be Antoine Barassa in, it looks like, the green headband, Zach Rakin, starting beater, I think alongside Emily Naftel, along with Aya Tessier, Ugochukwu Wadike, and looking for numbers here, one of the Naftals, I think that is Emily Naftel, but I'll do my best to confirm a number on that as we can. Meanwhile, New York has thrown out their sixth player. It will be Amiri Rivera-Sila starting for Titans here. Referees still having a conversation at mid-pitch. So once again, so far this season, the New York Titans are 5-1. They swept Washington at home the first week of the season. They beat Boston in a series, although they did drop a game. So that is their one loss in the season. Ottawa, meanwhile, a few weeks ago went down to Washington, D.C. to play in a super series against the Admirals and the Charlotte Aviators. They did go 0-6 in that one, although they played a really close game with the Aviators until about the 20-minute mark in their final game against Charlotte in that series. Other things to note here in this one, Ottawa does only have 13 players rostered, so a little bit short-staffed as they usually are or have been in the last few seasons. And notably, Tate K of the New York Titans, their head coach, is not rostered for this one. My understanding is that he wanted a chance to just coach, give some other players beater reps. There's no injury or anything there. It was just a personnel decision by the head coach. Alex Amadal putting the starting balls out there on mid-pitch before the run-up.
There is a shady spot. I didn't think there would be.
And that is actually Gwen Naftel starting for Ottawa, not Miranda. Confirming on those numbers. A lot of Naftals in this one. I'll do my best to let you know first names as we can, although they do trick me sometimes as well. Amadal now checking in with the score table. Not sure what the delay is. Looks like all the starters are out on the pitch. Looks like all the refs are out on the pitch. They obviously need to make sure Quadball 1 is ready to go, as well as their score sheet here. Amadal back out at center pitch, so hopefully we'll get this one started momentarily. Nope. At least Ottawa is going back to their bench. It looks like there's going to be a delay to the start. I think there's a conversation here about whether or not all the hoops were set up properly and in the middle of the pitch, because it does look like they're adjusting those on the left-hand side of the field. So New York's also going to go to their bench and get some water before we start. All right, the hoops have been moved. I'm unsure why now we're not starting.
None of the kids do.
It looks like they're now moving them again. On a full football field here, weirdly, the 45-yard marker is going to be halfway. That actually is because the press box is off center. So to get the camera on center, we had to make the mid-pitch 45-yard line. Looks like those near side hash marks are going to be where the middle hoop goes on both sides of the pitch. Good way to make sure that all the hoops are centered here. New York is wandering back out to their starting position, so hopefully we'll get this one started soon. As I said before, Ottawa is looking for their first win of the season. They actually don't have a win since the 2021 season, the first season back after the summer missed due to COVID. So they are really looking for their first win in a few seasons. Obviously, it'll be hard to come by against New York. Last year, undefeated in the East Division. This year, they did drop a game to Boston, but going through the teams that folks expect to come second and third in this division already at 5-1. Amadal now back out at center. Looks like we are going to be able to get this game started. So again, Ing and IL Silver beaters for New York alongside Kim. Rivera Sila, Coda Warren, and Minson. Meanwhile, for Ottawa, it's going to be Rakin Naftal in black, along with Barasa in green, Miranda Naftal, Wadike, and Tessier in white. Amadal asked the teams if they are ready, asks us if we are ready, so we are about to get underway here. Ottawa is ready. New York is ready. Brooms down call and brooms up. Off and running. Rivera Sila with the swim move right over Wadike, gets wrapped up, gets the pass out to Minson. Minson now sprinting near side. The beat from Rakin misses. The pass goes to Rivera Sila, gets knocked by Kim to Coda Warren. Pass back to Minson and back to Coda Warren. Over to Kim, a hand from Tessier knocks it away, and it's going to be a good start here for Ottawa. They get the stop, although they do not get control. Slowly up the pitch comes Antoine Barasa. Their first minutes of this season, as he was not at the Super Series, can be walked in by Rakin. Pump fake from both Rakin and Ing. Ing goes for the jump dodge, sprints up. Pass goes to Tessier behind, marked by Kim. Across to Wadike, through the hands of Wadike. Coda Warren is going to let it go out of bounds. Inbound it, he's up and running. Minson up the pitch, Kim up the pitch. Pass goes over the top to Minson, off his hands. He saves it before it goes out of bounds. Marked by Naftal, comes through, pass to Coda Warren, gets around Wadike, then fakes, goes under and over, scores through Tessier. 1-0 Titans. Slow here from Ottawa as Jason Ng is really high pressing, raking well behind the Ottawa hoops, getting the final dodgeball. The pass from Barasa on one bounce to Tessier. Tessier gets beat out by Ayala Silver. She kicks it after she's beat. That should be white ball, and in fact it is. So that's going to be another stop here for New York as they look to extend their early lead to 2. Amiri Rivera Sila slowly up the pitch here. Control is still in the hands of Ayala Silver and Ng for New York. Wadike and Tessier going to be on hoops here in the 2-2. Huge wingspan between the two of those players. Rivera Sila trying to come around the corner, gets it to Dakota Swarin. Wadike is going to close out there. The pass goes far side to Kim, then up top to Minson. Going around the square is New York. Minson, the no-look pass to Dakota Swarin. He puts it in 2-0. Some good early passing here from New York as Ottawa is slow to close out from their zone. And Barasa is going to make this ball live again. Rakin subbing out behind the play. So Emily Naftel beats out Jason Ng. They called clear. I think it hit the ground first. Tessier around behind, comes over the top and over the head of Miranda Naftel. She saves it before it goes out of bounds, but Jason Ng is there to clean it up. And Rivera Sila again is going to slow this one down. Sean Barros now in with the dodgeball for Ottawa's Rivera Sila comes in off the hands of Barasa. Barasa does, though, force Minson into throwing a bad pass. And this will be a stop for Ottawa. So it's not as easy as some folks may have thought here for New York early. Ayala Silver being told to move well past where she ended up after that play, really like 15 yards back. So it is going to start in the hands here of Gwen Naftel. She's marked by Kota Swarin, takes a few steps back and moves forward. Nakanishi now in a black headband as well for Ottawa. So there's also another player in. Pass comes Wadike, near side corner, marked by Rivera Sila. Pass goes over the top to Howden, over the head of Meg Howden, and out of bounds. It's going to be a Frank Minson inbound here for New York. With speed goes Minson. Ng beats out Howden. Kim moving up in front of Minson to be a passing option, although Kodeshwaran receives the pass at the top of the key. Ng clears a lane on the right side. Kodeshwaran to Minson. Minson, the path cleared out by Ng. That's as easy as a goal as you're going to get, 3-0. Naomi Hildebrand now in green for the Black Bears. I mean, marked heavily by Rivera Sila, immediately gets pushed back over the line, and that is going to be an immediate stop thanks to the rookie Rivera Sila. Sean Barrows is now here with the dodgeball, so it looks like it's being an immediate pass. As long as it's first move, it can cross that midfield restrictor line, as Hildebrand just ran back to the bench for 1 second. This pass goes back. It was a slow pass. Wadike tries to get there but can't. Gets beat out. Minson now driving in with speed over the top. The shot's no good. It hits the goal ref who is in bounds, but it's not going to lead to a second chance for New York as Ottawa survives that miscue from a play earlier. Hildebrand up. Nakanishi gets beat out by Ng. Naftel gets beat out by Ng. Barrows gets beat out, but so does Ng. And then a knockdown from Rivera Sila. They've been all over the place here defensively. Off to the right. Ng never tapped back in as Rivera Sila scores. I think Ng was trying to get like a face beat call, although that's not a rule in MLQ, and it was clearly not with much force. So I think Ng gets away with a little bit of cheating here, but it doesn't look like it's going to get called by any of the refs, so 4-0 the score will be. I think the stoppage was just to collect the quad ball, as Hildebrand is going to start with it here. Subs coming fast and furious here for Ottawa, as New York still hasn't made a sub yet. This is now Miranda Naftel into the game alongside, I believe, Alexander Ravache. in the beating game, who just gets beat out. Hildebrand goes behind. That's eaten up by Ayala Silver. Kim is going to clean it up as Ing is just throwing dodgeballs all over the place. Ottawa's only dodgeball now is well behind the pitch, behind New York's hoops. Kodeshwaran streaking up the pitch, comes left to drops the pass for Rivera Sila, but then scores through Miranda Naftel 5-0. And I think on that we're going to start to see some subs for New York. This is Elizabeth Lawson-Keister now in a black headband. I believe Ryan Leary's into this game. Lindsay Morella is into this one. A Jacob Ehrlich black headband. So New York now subbing through their line, although Frank Minson remains out there as a starter. Big throw there from Ehrlich, forces the pass out. Kodeshwaran picks it up, streaking through, no one to beat, takes it himself. Shakti Kodeshwaran makes it 6-0, and I think this is how most people thought the series would go after a slow start for New York. Eric Paguada now in green headbands, Zachary Arman trading in white. So all the starters now off the pitch for New York as they enter into their second line. Hildebrand over half. The pump fake there from Lawson-Keister. Pump fake from Ravash as well. Ravash goes for the block, can't get it. Ehrlich, though, has to chase a bad bounce. Pass goes all the way to Tessier. She's beat out by Lawson-Keister. Howden also beat out there. And again, an easy stop for New York. Morella now going to ball handle for the Titans. Over half coming left. Pump fake, dodge there from Lawson-Keister. That opened up the lane, though. Morella takes it herself, 7-0. It's possessions like that you don't want to see for the Black Bears, as they really offer no resistance whatsoever, even without having to throw a dodgeball. So up the pitch, Barasa back into this game, over half. Gets it to Max Geiler, far side. Geiler being led in by Emily Naftel. Herbie misses, Geiler gets it behind, but the bounce pass to Tessier is not going to connect, and that's another unforced error here from Ottawa. Not looking good. Similar to day one of the Super Series, although they did look better day two, as Paguada comes up the pitch. The screen from Morella opens up the lane right over the top of Miranda Naftel, 8-0. At this point, this early in the game, the lead already at 8. I'm interested to see if head coach Tate K of the New York Titans asks his team to slow it down a little bit, practice some half courts. Obviously, we know this Titans team can score in transition on Ottawa. And it really is a matter of, do we want to just keep doing that, or do we have anything we want to work on as we head into our last regular season series of the year, as well as championships. So Max Geiler throws it to Naftel, back corner, going to be met by Arman trading. Pass comes back over the top to Barasa. Barasa can't handle it. Geiler picks it up, beat out by Ehrlich. Morella now going to pick it up with 2 dodgeballs in front. Ravash gets beat out as Morella easily scores on that medium hoop, 9-0. And despite the trade of beats, it's still going to be control with the Titans. They really don't have anything working, or Ottawa really has nothing working for them now, as Zach Rakin is back into this one. And Max Geiler ball handling now approaching mid-pitch. Barasa the pass with Emily Naftel right in front with the dodgeball. Paguada and Green not going to leave the zone. Playing this triangle in one defense. Geiler gets it far side, drives in, easy goal. That's the perfect way to attack a triangle in one. Get it to 2 players up top, just pass it right around the point defender and drive in on the flat-footed hoop defender. So 9-1 as Ottawa scores on a nice-looking offense. Immediately leads to some subs, though. Chico in, beats out Naftel, the beating game. Tessa Mullins also in as Paguada just drives through, and Miranda Naftel can offer no resistance as New York hits double digits on goals, 10-1. Miranda Naftel subs out for Gwen Naftel. Looks like Lex Nakanishi also now in the black headband to play alongside Rakin. Mullins doing her best to manipulate the third dodgeball as legally as she can, but as the dodgeball rolls out of bounds, nope, she gets the beat off on Rakin, and this is going to be no dodgeballs for a long time for Ottawa. Barasa just ball handling by himself around. That beat from Mullins hits the ground. Then a beat from Chico hits Morella. So Barasa finally gets taken to the ground by Armatrading. Good team defense there from Titans as Armatrading bails out the beaters. Ryan Leary off and running with no dodgeballs back. Looks right, gets it to Morella. She goes right back for the give and go with Leary, but the pass does not connect, and Geiler's going to get that keeper ball. And again, there's still no dodgeballs for the Black Bears as the Titans beaters are doing absolutely anything they want. And I think we're now going to get a not leaving the keeper zone penalty on Ottawa, which is going to be a turnover in the quad ball to Titans. Really setting the tone here early, Amidal is, for how much he's willing to tolerate, as Ottawa's going to call, or no, New York is going to call a timeout here. But yeah, so Max Geiler was walking kind of diagonally out of the zone. We're up in a press box, so unclear if there was a warning or if it's just straight up you were not trying to leave the zone. I think it's a pretty strict call, but as long as it's consistent throughout the day, no problems from me. But early on, again, New York calls their first timeout. They have a 10-1 lead. They've really dominated every aspect of this game, as I think most people thought they would. Most of their goals have come in the transition, although they have a few passing goals around their square offense here. Meanwhile, Ottawa's only goal came on a nice little passing play. Titans like to play this triangle in one defense. That's two players on hoops, the keeper playing up on point, and then their fourth defender kind of marking what they view as the other team's biggest off-ball threat. So in this case, it was Annika Kim marking Wadike. But a simple pass around the keeper with the beaters busy elsewhere led to an easy drive and shot in a small hoop. And really, it was kind of a textbook way to break down that defense by Ottawa. So clearly, they tactically have some good ideas. It's just been a struggle, obviously, with fewer players and in general, less experienced players, potentially less athletic players as well against this absolutely stacked New York side. New York here going to go into their chant. I think the timeout is just about up here. Titans head back to their brooms. Does not look like they are going to run any of their subs out of the timeout, as you are allowed to do. Ottawa still on their bench, as Amidal's now walking back onto the field. I expect he'll call them to their brooms pretty quickly. All right, so Emily Naftel is going to sub in for Lex Nakanishi, who was down behind the play. They look like they're okay. We're able to walk off under their own power. We'll keep an eye on that to see if they come back later in the game. Otherwise, if my memory is serving me correctly, it looks like Ottawa's running the same folks back that they had right before this timeout. All right, so Amidal now back towards middle of the pitch. I think to whistle this one live, who's making sure all the dodgeballs were not overly inflated in this heat, playing on turf as well. So a lot of the balls out there can inflate over the course of a game. And frankly, become unthrowable for a lot of players whose hands just aren't that big. It's making sure that the equipment stays fair here. Looks like we're also going to take a little bit of air out of the quad ball. No, Amidal is just reminding the score table that it was an illegal reset, so it is going to be a turnover to New York and into the hands of Eric Paguada. Paguada just driving straight through, tries to get through Max Schuyler and is able to score before the hit comes through, 11-1. And New York opens up a 10-goal lead for the first time in this game. Schuyler slow up on this one as Gwen Naftel runs to the left. Wadike is down deep on the near side corners. Reagan is leading in Schuyler with a dodgeball. Morella coming out high to play defense on Naftel here. Luis Mendoza is now into this one in the green headband, cannot be beat. Cross court to Tessier. She's able to knock it down, but that allows Mullins to beat her out. Now up the field goes Ryan Leary, turns on the Jets, gets it over to Morella. Morella scores as Chico goes for an extremely aggressive play, and that's going to be Ottawa's first chance with dodgeball control, I think, this entire game, as they now trail 12-1. So Naftel and now Barros in. Chico comes, does a fake beat with no dodgeball. Tessier, far side ball handling. The block does not happen for Naftel, but Barros is going to keep control here. The pass goes over to Naftel, too high to Wadike as Chico makes a beat in the back. Chris Balasa now into this game as well. It's been the near side option for Titans as Mendoza ball handles up the pitch. Vini Chico off with speed, trade of beats, dodgeballs on the ground. Mullins is going to try to clean it up, but it's going to be control with Ottawa as Balasa has it near side, marked by Wadike. The pass goes back to Morella at the top. Mendoza is beat out, Morella is beat out. The pass goes way over the top to Ryan Leary, and Leary scores through Tessier. The Titans survive the press, although a great catch there from Barros keeps control with Ottawa, 13-1. So Ottawa really struggled to win control, but once they have, it's been well fought by them to maintain it. New York not getting it back as easily as maybe they'd hoped. Antoine Barasa now walking up near side. Gonna be marked by Mendoza. Pass goes, one bounce to Wadike. Wadike, the beat misses from Chico, and then through Balasa and over Mendoza, 13-2. And Ottawa showing a few signs of life here as Chico's going to get the Titans dodgeball well behind their own hoops. And his control of Titans, though, now as Mendoza moves up the pitch, tries to get through Naftel. The spin move works. Fakes high, goes low, misses the point-blank shot. Kicks it out wide. Tessier first to the ball. Howden there to protect with the dodgeball. Although Lindsay Morella with the second effort knocks it out. Lindsay Morella is now beat, and Balasa forces Borasa over the line, and for the second time in this game, Titans are going to create a turnover by knocking the keeper over that keeper's own line. Balasa now moving left. Mendoza also beat out. Balasa, the only Titans chaser here back. Howden could press, but they choose not to. Huge hit from Barasa. Gets everybody on the ground. Howden could come clean it up. Great defense there from Ottawa, and Morella's hustle play does not result in a goal here for Titans. So Antoine Barasa now showing a little bit of speed. Wadike going to go up and receive the pass, but that beat that comes in from Barnes is going to connect, and Balasa picks up the quad ball as Christian Barnes subs into the game and makes an immediate impact. They'll be playing alongside Kellen Cupid, also in the game for the first time. As Balasa takes this one over half. Ravache makes a beat far side as near side the pass goes to Morella. Morella gets it out to Balasa. 2-2 here from Ottawa. It's Barnes and Cupid both all over these Ottawa beaters. Great block there from Ravache as Hildebrand comes out to mark Morella. Morella keeps backing up, goes for the stiff arm, switches hands, gets it to Balasa. Balasa now with speed gets past Hildebrand. Far side, Luis Mendoza. Ravache comes out. Cannot get the block from Cupid there as Morella receives the pass, drives the lane, 14-2. So a long defensive stand there for Ottawa does not result in a stop, though Howden here is going to beat out Mendoza to give their team a little bit of time. Really close to passing back over that keeper line as Schuyler subs back into this game. Hildebrand is now going to be the one slowly walking up the pitch. Howden and Ravache now the pair. This was a pair we saw a lot of in the Super Series for Ottawa. Rivera Sila back into this game as well. White headband for the Titans. Pass goes far side. Naftel cannot corral it. Balasa just comes in, picks it up one hand. Cupid running. Ravache beat out Cupid and Barnes at the same time. Balasa still with speed. Wadike with the hand knocks the ball out. Geiler's going to be first to it, picks it up and runs. Barnes steps into a throw and makes the beat. So a good stop there from Ottawa, but no transition opportunity really, as Mendoza now slows this one up far side with Cupid in front to protect. Mendoza driving, fakes left, goes right, bar down, 15-2. And Ottawa here is going to call a timeout as they trail by 13. I think we must be pretty close to the 20-minute mark here. So after a 9-0 run to start the game, New York's on a 6-2 run, which I think basically any team in the league would take against any other team. But I think from Ottawa's point of view, again, a team that has not won a game since the 19 or potentially even 18 season. I think 6-2 against the defending East Division champs is not a bad run. They won control, and they looked good while they had control. It only lasted 2 or 3 possessions, but they had some good plays both on the defensive end and offensive end to maintain it for those few possessions. They also, I think, look like they have good ideas on offense. Really, their passes have been struggling. Almost all of them have been too high or too short to the intended receivers. It's really allowed New York's beaters to close distance and make some easy beats to get the stops. But I think in this series, in a game where maybe you aren't sure if you can learn too much about either team, I think we're learning from Ottawa that they have a good skeleton. I think we knew that coming out of the Super Series, but it's nice to see it against New York as well. Surely they've gone on some big runs, the Titans have, that have really made Ottawa look very bad. But I think to show any signs of life against New York for this Ottawa team is really impressive and something that they can work on moving forward. Meanwhile, the Titans, obviously leading by a lot, they're going to be happy with a sweep in this series, and if the games continue to go like this first one, that should be coming their way. I think something worth noting is that we're seeing a lot of depth from the Titans. This could, potentially be viewed as a sort of tryout that Tate K, the head coach, could be running. What does everybody on the team offer as an individual? How do different lines look working together? Really trying to figure out what the best case scenario is going into championship weekend. And I think we've seen some stuff work and some stuff not work. Again, a lot of transition goals. The beaters look good. They are running the break. That's something you always want to see from a team that's kind of dominating in a game. But I think also on defense, we're seeing some good closeout from Titans, as well as really testing this triangle and one defense. It works against a lot of teams, but I think teams where all 4 players are comfortable ball handling, they're really going to have a different look going into champs in order to really be at their strongest defensively. So coming out of the timeout, it looks like Avery Olivar is going to be subbing into this game. I think that's the only sub for Titans. And apologies, she might have been out there right before the stoppage. Meanwhile, Ottawa has Rakin and Naftel out there beating. I believe both Gwen and Miranda Naftel out there chasing, along with Naomi Hildebrand and Max Geiler. Ball handling now over half. Cupid runs up. Great catch there from Rakin. Could win control for Ottawa, but again, the pass is too high, right over the head of Miranda Naftel, and it's going to be a stop as Christian Barnes comes in and wins control here. It also means that there's no dodgeballs back as Naftel's dodgeball wins well off pitch. Mendoza now jogging up past half. The pass goes right to Chris Balassa, and Naftel was just not paying attention there in the 2-2. 16-2 is the score. Geiler over the keeper zone line and moving forward with Rakin in front. Again, control is with Cupid and Barnes here for the Titans. Some more players do sub in the chaser game. Jason Wu now in green as Naftel sends it back up to Geiler, protected by Rakin. Wu cannot be beat out in the keeper zone wearing that green headband. Geiler backs it up rips a pass over to Naftel. Naftel drives, gets through Olivar's tackle, but then throws it to no one. Balasa again up and running. Cupid leading the way. Balasa elects to slow it down as Raken is back with a dodgeball. Cupid comes through. The dodgeballs hit each other. Pass behind Wu, knocks it down, gets it back up to Balasa. The shot goes straight through the hoops, and Chris Balasa puts a mid-range shot home and immediately goes for a sub, 17-2. Not the cleanest look there from New York, but they'll take a goal as John Jackson now subs into this game for the Titans. Barrows in black, working on Cupid. The Barnes beat just absolutely doesn't hit anyone. It's going to mean control for Ottawa. The pass goes to Hildebrand. They just drop it and come off broom. Jackson now picking it up, running the other way. Absolutely nobody is back. John Jackson comes in and scores. Although the missed beat from Barnes does gift control to Ottawa. We'll see if they can do anything with it as they trail 18-2. And we have a whistle here. It is not the 20-minute stoppage. There is a discussion here between some of the ARs and Alex Amadal, the head referee. I think notable from this Barnes-Cupid beating pair for the Titans has been a lot of aggression. They've been the most aggressive beater pair from Titans so far, but both of those players have missed some beats. In some cases, it's cost control, and some it hasn't, but I think something to note for Take K moving forward, if that's something they want to reel in, or if this is the beater pair they want to throw in there to just create some chaos, as Naftel's going to lead Tessier over half. Looks like Meg Howden now in the green headband for the Black Bears. Barros and Emily Naftel have control here. Barnes goes for the hit, makes it. Barros makes the beat as Tessier goes left, gets it to Howden, knocked down with one hand. That's going to go out of bounds. And again, Ottawa can just not connect on these passes. Wu going to ball handle here for the Titans as Annika Kim comes back into the game. Jacob Ehrlich also into this one for Kellen Cupid, and Rachel Ayala Silver in for Christian Barnes. John Jackson going to be the one to ball handle here as we come up over mid-pitch. We're at 19 minutes mark game time. We'll see if Titans use this as a test for holding on for the last possession. They're also looking with control back, which they immediately do as Ehrlich makes a simple jump to get the dodge. And then John Jackson finds Jason Wu cutting from behind. 19-2 is our score, and control is just thrown away by Ottawa. Not something you want to see from them right before 20 minutes. So Howden going to ball handle here for the Black Bears. Comes up over half. Hildebrand right alongside as Emily Naftel with Ottawa's only dodgeball leads the way in. Big hit from Barros. Ehrlich makes the beat, but then Ehrlich has beat himself. It's not going to do anything on his own hoop. Naftel gets immediately beat out by Ayala Silver. There's 3 seconds left before 20 minutes, so New York will have the final possession as John Jackson keeps this one slow. Hildebrand way out high, gets beat out by Ehrlich. Immediately, Barros goes for the hit. And I think is going to get a card. Contact on a player without a ball. I think that's a pretty weak call there from Amadal, as Barros' momentum was clearly carrying him into a player that just attempted to beat on him. Obviously, that sort of card is for player safety. But I think if that's the way the sport's going, we're going to need to take physicality out of the beating game. John Jackson here, far side, Meg Howden directly in front. Tessier marking that hoop. Fakes left, goes right. The no-look pass to Ryan Leary. Leary goes high, then low, and scores around the back. 20-2 here is New York's lead as we hit the 20-minute mark. So the set score here will be 26. A flag runner catch is worth 3 goals. And so New York will be looking to end this game quickly and grab that catch. Ottawa, Wadike is their starting seeker, or at least was in the Super Series. Had an extremely successful weekend down in Washington, catching Tyler Trudeau, I believe, 3 times in 4 attempts. Potentially 3 times in 5 attempts by the end of that weekend, although started out 3 for 4. Sometimes a team that is down this much and really doesn't have a big chance to come back into the game may prioritize flag runner just as kind of a simple victory. If you can catch that flag, kind of be a morale boost for the team and give you a little bit of something to celebrate. Meanwhile, New York, again, playing some of their beater depth in this game, may look to some of that depth to do the same thing. How do you all play the flag runner on pitch? Are you a pair that K can trust in a close game where the flag runner really matters in the championship? So I think it'll be interesting to see if K relies on, Ayala Silver and Ing, some of the more experienced players rostered today, or if we see a Barnes-Cupid pairing, or potentially a Keeson-Loster Chico pairing, to give them some experience and maybe test them out a little bit before championships. So be interested to see that. In the Chaser game, after New York's early success in transition, I expect them to rack up goals very quickly in this period, especially if the dodgeballs go towards that flag runner game. So potentially even without a catch, they might be able to end this in just 3 or 4 minutes. But that is something we will have to see. So Cupid and Ing, both in yellow here for New York. Kind of an interesting team where their top 2 seekers are both also beaters, which kind of takes them out of that beating game potentially. So be interested to see what rotations they run at beater here. So they go for their chant. I think that means this 2-minute period's just about up. So the Ottawa bench is really spread out a little bit, just getting some water and catching some rest, as they are already exhausted from their short roster early on in the day, just game 1 of 3. So with the goal for Titans right before that 20-minute mark, it will mean that the Black Bears are going to start with the quad ball here. Paguada subs in for Jackson out of the timeout. Mullins and Chico going to be the beater pair. Or no, Mullins and Ayala Silver going to be the beater pair here for New York. Kim Leary, Armin trading are going to be the 3 chasers here. And Jason Ing will be the starting seeker. I think that's Alexander Ravache starting in yellow for the Black Bears. Meg Howden in green, Emily Naftel, Sean Barrows in black, Aya Tessier, Naomi Hildebrand, and Gwen Naftel in white. Ten-second countdown here for the Seekers. Naftel moving up with the dodgeball in front of Howden. The big throw from Mullins misses. Mullins is beat out. Control immediately to Ottawa on a bad throw from Tessa Mullins. Slow is Howden. Far side is Jason Ing is going to get a look with just Rachel Ayala Silver protecting. Howden passes over the top to Tessier, but Ryan Leary intercepts. Immediately going to try to get wrapped up by Howden, but the pass comes out to Paguada. Paguada now off with speed, moving right around Tessier. No one else to beat. 21-2. And just 5 away are the Titans. So Howden's going to make this one live as Ravache is beat out by Ayala Silver. Control still here with the Black Bears. Oh, not quite a catch there from the Ottawa beater. As far side Meg Howden is going up the pitch, marked by Paguada. Pass goes out to Tessier yet again and just loses her broom. Another unforced error here from Ottawa. Not a good feeling for them as they trail heavily in this one. Paguada now going to ball handle as Kellen Cupid comes in with a yellow headband on for the Titans. Paguada keeping this one nice and slow for New York. Moving far side, Meg Howden comes out to make a hit. Comes left, all the way through left. The whistle, the snitch, the flag runner ref's whistle came before the goal, but the head ref's whistle came after the goal. Meanwhile, Alexander Ravache caught the flag runner. Again, it could be a huge boost for Ottawa. Their bench got excited when they saw the tail in Ravache's hand, although it looks like it's not going to be called good. Just kind of based on the body language of the flag runner and the seeker here. Conversation from the refs. The catch is in fact good. So 21-5 is now your score in favor of New York. The goal from New York is also going to be called after the whistle. So it was not a good goal here from Paguada. He's going to have to do it again. Try to go right over Miranda Naftel. Or, of course, over the top to Armin Trading or Leary, although Emily Naftel does have a dodgeball back. So I think a pass might benefit Ottawa here, give their beaters a chance. Ehrlich subs in for Mullins. And on the whistle, oh, a good knockdown from Naftel. Paguada picks it up. The beat there misses from Naftel. Ryan Leary with the fake out. Tessier can't get a hand on her. The shot is no good, though. Great defensive stand here from Ottawa. Kim now picks it up, and Ehrlich comes through to look off any Ottawa defenders. And Kim is now going to slow this one down and run a full half court here for the Titans. Pass comes near side Leary. Ayala Silver in front. Armin Trading gets met by Naftel. Goes left, then back right. Gets around the defender. Goes right, and then scores through the hoop that was sideways. A no-angle shot that opened up because of the hoop turning. So 22-5. Titans need 4 goals to win this one. And of course, the flag runner has already been caught by Ottawa here. So Wadike back into this game. Geiler back into this game for the Black Bears. Naftel backs it up just a little bit with Rakin in front. Rakin gets the block. So Ehrlich now gets beat out. Geiler throws it deep to Naftel. She's able to grab it, but Armin Trading knocks it out. If that goes out of bounds, I think it was going to be Ottawa ball, but Naftel touched it right before it went out of bounds. It's going to be New York ball instead. Armin Trading calling for a sub on the next offensive stand as Ayala Silver subs out and Lawson Keister subs in for New York. Armin Trading nice and slow here. 2-2 defense set up from Ottawa. Ravache comes out, beats out Lawson Keister. The beat from Ehrlich misses. Far side, Ryan Leary closed out to by Wadike. Gets the wrap, ball comes out, called back to hoops, but Ravache is there to clean it up, and Ottawa gets a stop. A good look there from them, and some more missed beats here from New York's beaters. A lot of them have come from pretty close range, and it's not a good sign for this team. You can't be having a lot of missed beats in close games. Obviously, they'll get away with it in this one, but something they might want to work on here coming out of this game or out of this series. 1.5 here from Ottawa as Ravache is going to try to protect this dodgeball. Ehrlich is completely wrapped up, but Geiler's marked by Paguada, can't get through. Goes right side, gets through, Armin Trading comes out, just gets bodied, and Max Geiler, the solo effort off the 1.5, 22-6. And I don't think many people thought Ottawa would get a highlight reel goal like that against this Titans defense. Paguada now going to ball handle. Shakti Kodeswaran back in. Lindsay Morella in. Avery Olivar also in for the Titans as they make a number of subs. Sean Paguada, or Eric Paguada, ball handling. Missed beat here is going to lose control for Ottawa's Lawson Keister. Inbounds that dodgeball. Avery Olivar has Jacob Ehrlich in front. Steps up. Max Geiler can't be beat in the zone. Pass comes near side. Cody Swarin back to Morella, and then back over to Cody Swarin. Gets through and then scores around Geiler. A nice body control move there from Cody Swarin, 23-6. And the Titans need 3. Tessier back into this game. It's Rakin and Ravash doing their best to win control back here. Is actually Rakin's going to sub out here for Sean Barrows. Cupid beats out Wadike behind. Geiler again goes for the sprint through. Paguada gets the stop though, as the ball comes out. Naftel fights for it, but is beat out by Lawson Keister. Not going to work twice there, that move from Geiler against this New York defense, as Frank Minson's also going to sub back into this game. Kodeshwaran, near side, gets it middle. Olivar. Cupid all the way behind is Lawson Keister's near side, right on the hoops. Minson, met out by Tessier, gets it back topside to Olivar. She gets hit immediately by Naftel, gets the ball to Kodeshwaran. He shoots right from the keeper's zone line, middle hoop, 24-6. And New York is withstanding, frankly, a well-disciplined Ottawa defense pretty well here. That's a nice-looking goal when you watch back on film for that team. Tessier, over half. Hildebrand, far side, green headband now. Barrows and Naftel looking to win control back here for Ottawa. Minson comes out, then goes back to the keeper zone. Lawson Keister dodges the beat. That's going to be a press opportunity for Titans. Good hit, though, from Barrows, prevents that. The ball just comes out from Tessier. Minson picks it up. Cupid wants to run. There's a fight for the loose dodgeball. The pass way up, goes in. A mid-range shot there for the Titans goes through. And what was supposed to be an assist to Morella turns into a goal, 25-6. And the Titans need just 1 to end game 1 here. Miranda Naftel now into this game for Ottawa as they look to score just 1 more goal here, potentially. Again, small wins for this Black Bears team who trail heavily and have throughout this one. Hildebrand walking up as Barrows and Naftel want to win control. Cupid tries to press. Tessier takes that as an opportunity. Goes through. Gets it right past Kodeshwaran. That should be 25-7. There's going to be a discussion. But a good shot there from Tessier, who fights through the Olivar contact. Gets it past the hand of Shakti Kodeshwaran.
Someone asked in the chat if this person played MLQ last year.
No, Lawson Keister is a rookie on this New York side. Good goal, 25-7. And again, that's 4 goals for Ottawa along with the flag runner catch. Here, Frank Minson with speed, goes right, gets around the corner on Wadike, driving in as Cupid created a lane, stuffs it right past Naomi Hildebrand. Frank Minson did not want to mess around. 26-7 is the final score here in game 1. I think going as many people thought it would, although with a flag runner catch and 4 goals for Ottawa, I think they have some small wins to celebrate as well. So game number 2 between these two teams is going to be coming up here in about 20 minutes. We will check back in with you around 1:15 or 1:20. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be this same stream. We're going to stay live. We're just going to go ahead and mute the mic before game 2 starts.
There was no beat stoppages there.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Once again, this is the New York versus Ottawa East Division regular season series. The teams have swapped sides, so New York wearing white is now defending the left-hand hoops. Ottawa wearing black defending the right-hand hoops. New York won game 1,
260 to 50,
260 to 75. The flag runner catch for Ottawa, giving them a little something to feel happy about in what should be a long day for them. I am Keegan Remy Miller. For this game, I will be joined by Naresh Adala. Naresh, you saw most of the last game. Obviously a big blowout win for Titans, but anything you think either team is focused on for game 2?
I think for New York, I would love to see them really focus on their half courts, because there was a point in that game where after like the 10-ish minute mark, after that first line really got off the field, they didn't look all that crisp. They didn't look all that good. I'm not gonna lie. So I'd like to see them really focus in on the half court and really just focus on their passes, get those good looks off instead of just relying on. Again, you're going to get easy looks against Ottawa sometimes because of the athletic advantage that you have. But against other teams, that might not be there. So now you want to focus on the process of how you're doing things rather than just saying, oh, we got a goal out of it. For Ottawa, honestly, I thought the way they ended that game was pretty solid. Right? They've been the best flag runner on pitch team so far. I think with the league leading 5 catches so far. So I'm excited for them to just really hone in on how they finish that game, and a large part of that comes with catching and throwing well.
So we have our brooms down call here from Alex Amadal. Both sides are ready. And brooms up. Chris Balassa against Aya Tessier. Balassa picks it up, moves forward, goes left around Wadike, goes straight through Geiler. The pass is high. Great hit there from Max Geiler. The Chris Balassa solo effort will not yield a goal. And it looks like control with Ottawa in the hands of Zach Rakin and Emily Naftel. So everything breaking Ottawa's way early, and a goal here would give them a lead. Albeit 1-0, but I think a huge morale booster for them if they're able to do so. Meanwhile, looks like it's going to be a triangle and 1 defense here, potentially a 2-2 from Titans. Mendoza and Kim out high, Leary and Balassa down low. Ehrlich with the dodgeball, Lawson Keister without for the Titans. Pass goes to Wadike behind. Leary's beat out the pump fake. Balassa just knocks it down. Ehrlich cleans up Wadike. Not a great look there from the Black Bears.
Yeah, I thought the initial movement was solid. They got the entire defense to commit to them. I think Wadike needed to make that pass left or just be decisive with the drive a lot earlier.
Also a loss of control there for Ottawa. So after a great start to the game, immediately things stop breaking their ways. Balassa's going to carry this one over mid-pitch. Here, Ehrlich and Lawson Keister near side. The quad ball with Balassa far side now goes to the middle and Luis Mendoza. Geiler cannot be beat. Comes out, no dodgeballs. Kim was wide open. Tessier responsible for that coverage. Just nowhere to be found. 1-0 New York.
That was a really good play by the Titan beater there, Jacob Ehrlich, to tap out the small hoop defender to allow that lane to open up as he was bailing out of the play after getting the lone Ottawa dodgeball out of the play.
The Rutgers coach clearing the way for the 2 Rutgers players to make a connection there. Geiler rips a pass. Wadike goes high over Mendoza to get it. Balassa goes for the tackle, does bring Wadike down. Ball comes out. Tessier can't quite hang on and is beat out as Luis Mendoza picks it up. Mendoza also in the green headband cannot interfere with that. That's a no harm, no foul. Back to hoops penalty for Tessier there. Though not getting off brim and dodged 2 beats. So we'll just play on. Mendoza now over half. Met by Naftel. Swim moves, gets around her. The beat comes through. The beat is good. The shot is not. So kind of early on, after a good look from Titans, a bad possession for them as well.
Yeah, and again, this is what we're talking about, right? Like, was there any need to rush that play? The Ottawa defense was set. Rest of your beaters weren't really doing much. They were focusing on running a half court, and Mendoza to just line up a shot there, you'd want that's one he wants to take back.
Ravache and Barrows here, the beating pair for Ottawa, looking to get control back. Hildebrand ball handling. Wadike near side. Both Gwen and Miranda, Naftel far side. Pass comes up top to Naftel. The shot is low through the contact from Kim. Going to be protected all the way out of bounds by Elizabeth Lawson Keister. So kind of both teams struggling here early as New York still leads this one 1-0. They do have control and have, after winning it on their first defensive possession of the game.
I'd love to see Titans put the ball in Annika Kim's hands. That's a role that she's very comfortable with, and I think that'll really help calm them down in the half court.
Instead, Balasa passes behind to Leary. Leary's wrapped up, taken down by Wadike.
Completely forgot to do that. My genuine apologies for not switching cameras the entire time. I will be better about it going forward.
So there's going to be a penalty here, I think, for contact on a player without a ball. So it is going to be Wadike who knocked the ball out and then kind of hit Ryan Leary after the ball had come out. So Wadike yellow card to the box, and it'll be a quad ball turnover to Ryan Leary here.
Yeah, that could just be an experience thing for Wadike. Started playing, I think, earlier in February this year. Someone that all of Canada is extremely excited about.
Although Alexander Ravache is going to have a dodgeball here right on top of Leary. I think they're saying it has to start on the ground. So Leary is able to move to the nearest restrictor line. So she's going to move up to the keeper zone line here. She can choose any spot on the keeper zone line. She's going to line up in front of that medium hoop as both Black Bear defenders are over by the small hoop. So Leary should have an easy goal here, unless she chooses to go for the assist and get it to Mendoza.
Oh, she's really good. She's fun to watch.
And we're off. Leary driving, goes high, puts it home, 2-0 Titans. So Hildebrand here in the green headband will ball handle as Wadike comes out of the penalty box on that good goal for New York. Ravache and Barrows looking to win control here for the Black Bears. Hildebrand now crossing mid-pitch. Trade of beats here is going to mean no dodgeballs for Ottawa as Naftel is marked by Kim. Driving through, gets the pass to Wadike. The beat from distance comes in from Ehrlich. That one connects. Ryan Leary now driving through. Another beat from Ehrlich connects. It does give Ottawa a dodgeball as Balasa receives the pass and puts it home 3-0.
Yeah, what a great transition there for Titans, and Balasa getting rewarded for running with Leary.
Ehrlich comes back in solo effort to try to win control back. Not going to happen. So Black Bears here with control. We'll see if they can get themselves onto the board as they already trail 3-0. Zach Rakin's going to come in, black headband, to try to help make that happen. Antoine Barassa also into this game for Ottawa as they're quickly moving into their depth. Something we'll see throughout the day as they're pretty short rostered. Meanwhile, Titans still running with their starters, all 6. So Naftel has it near side, goes left hand, gets wrapped up by Mendoza. The ball comes out. Hildebrand first to the ball, protected by Rakin. Hildebrand moving to the right, control still with Ottawa's. Ravache is really moving far back. Rakin drives in, pump fake there from Lawson Keister. The pass goes far side. Naftel cannot handle the pass. Goes for the kick. It's called legal. That's going to give it to Barassa. He's wrapped up by Balasa. Balasa gets him to the ground. Ball comes out. Easy enough for Mendoza to pick up on the bounce. Meanwhile, Lawson Keister goes for a huge hit. Ravache gets the beat off. This might lead to control. Instead, it leads to a whistle. And that is a timeout for New York. I think the timeout might cost them a chance at control. But certainly, despite being up 3-0, I don't think it's the start that Tate K and the New York Titans thought they were going to get in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this goes back into what we were talking about earlier, Keegan. They need to clean this up in the half court because right now the lone half court set that worked for them was a one-pass offense. And again, against Ottawa, that might work, but this Titans team has higher aspirations than beating Ottawa in July. They need to clean this up. Their depth players, because I think that was their third string from the game 1, who now started game 2. They need to start looking into stringing passes together and putting together a more coherent offense.
Interesting timeout called by K as well. All 6 starters still on the field. Something that can be difficult for coaches to do. Tate K, normally a playing coach, although not rostered today. If you see something big that you want all the players on the field to know all at once, might be a reason you call a timeout. Take K could have huddled together the next 6 people to go in, talk to them about it while something played out. You know, the assistant coaches keep an eye on the field in case something needs Take K's attention, and then just call for the whole sub. And instead of burning a timeout, all 6 players in the field now have that message from the head coach. So really early timeout here for MK. Looking obviously for a momentum change here, despite the fact, again, New York is up 3-0. Meanwhile, Ottawa, I think, appreciates the breather. They had 4 goals in game 1. I think all 4 goals looked strategically pretty sound. I think obviously with a talent disparity like this, you're going to have to be strategically sound to get any goal past the Titans. But early on, we really haven't seen anything that looked too good from the Black Bears so far.
Yeah, and again, it stems from the inability to throw a ball and catch a ball cleanly. And if Ottawa can get that cleaned up, and that's something you can practice by yourself. You can just do that inside, right? You don't need to go outside and have a full team practice for soft skills like that. And so that's something that if Ottawa wants to get back into this game or just even improve themselves going forward into the rest of the season for them, that's something they'll have to look to clean up. But again, as you said, I think strategically they've shown that they can compete, but the biggest difference now is the athletic advantage.
So all 6 players for Titans do sub out on this play. Cupid and Barnes, the beating pairs. Paguada now ball handling up, gets beat out, gets it back to John Jackson. Avery Olivar and Amiri Rivera-Sila, the other 2 players out here for Titans now. John Jackson gets it behind Rivera-Sila. Marked by Howden here. Rips a shot, rims out. Cupid is able to keep it in bounds. Good play there from Kellen. Although I believe he might have gotten his foot stepped on here. But looking okay so far. Paguada now, marked by Geiler in the green headband, cannot be beat. Barasa is beat out. A misbeat there from Naftel. No dodgeballs. Stuffed at the hoop is Paguada. And again, no passes, really, no threatening passes on that offense for Titans. Geiler, fighting through contact, just stays on their feet. Howden beat out, bad pass. So Titans kind of get bailed out on that one without Ottawa getting a real offensive look. Jackson now over half. Cupid and Barnes with control in front. Paguada now has it far side. Cupid getting wrapped up a little bit by Naftel and pulls out. John Jackson fake left. Barnes misses a beat. The pass goes behind to Olivar. She's able to finish easily 4-0. It is control, though, to Ottawa, and this Cupid-Barnes pair has thrown control away a number of times already today. Certainly something to keep an eye on, especially if we see this pair at championships together or even against Charlotte later on this summer. 1.5 from Ottawa. Howden gets it behind to Naftel. Naftel goes for the shot. John Jackson knocks it down, slows it up, and now speeds it up as Barnes is off and running. The beat comes through. No good on the beat. Rivera-Sila goes left, scores right over Howden, 5-0. So control also going Titans' way and a really good transition possession there from them. Rakin subbing out, Geiler subbing out, Tessier ball handling over half. Emily Naftel, the only dodgeball here for Ottawa in front. Hildebrand in. Tessier backs it up a little bit, marked by Paguada. Naftel, the dodgeball there, cannot beat out Paguada. Another just shot through the middle. John Jackson's going to eat that up all day against any team. John Jackson all the way. And so Titans are extending their lead, now up 6-0, but Naresh, really have not seen any good half-court looks from them.
Yeah, I mean, again, John, I know you can score in the half-court. I'm sorry, I know you can score in a full transition, but Titans have struggled right now in a half-court look. And I think at this point, we just are going to get what we get. But for this Titans team, who have been shaky this season so far in their half-court, this could be such a really good opportunity for them to focus in on how to make their half-court better.
So Tessier driving in, but the pass went behind. Easy beat out there for Cupid. Going to be turnover for Titans. John Jackson's going for a sub. Looks like Shakti Kodeshwaran is coming in as Paguada comes down near side. Turns on the Jets, but Wadike holds on. Gets it out far side. Rivera-Sila goes right, then left, then up top. 7-0. Good play there from Paguada to get the pass out while being wrapped up. Cupid and Barnes being really aggressive here and finally pulled back as the ball only now just becomes live as Hildebrand picks it up.
Yeah, and that's something I've noticed a couple times so far in with this Titans defense. Their beaters will step up really high to press, but none of their chasers are in a position to take advantage.
Barnes is beat out and misses their beat, so it's going to be control to Ottawa as Hildebrand only just crosses half. Probably another unforced error. Paguada comes in aggressively. Cupid is beat out. Paguada gets the stop, though Ottawa is kind of running it right now with the beaters, although Barnes is now going to clean it up behind the play.
That was a great swap by Kodeswaran to get Titans beaters control.
Olivar gets beat out and just loses the quad ball there. A stop for Ottawa. Titans might want to slow this one down a little bit. 10-minute heat stoppage here, something we didn't have in game 1. We are going to have in games 2 and 3, as it is ballpark 88 degrees, feels like 101, 102, down there playing on turf, which obviously makes everything a little bit hotter as well. So, Naresh, to play a little bit of counterpoint here to something that we've both been talking about. New York's up 7-0. We're both saying, I think a lot of people watching might be saying, how are the announcers being so critical of New York? They're up 7-0. They dominated the first game. They only let up 4 goals. They haven't let up any in this one. Why are we nitpicking New York here when they're winning so easily? Is there something to be said about just taking care of business? Winning the game as easily as you can, as quickly as you can in this heat, and just clinching your spot at champs, which New York will do with a sweep in this series.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that necessarily, but I think with this New York team specifically, with how much of a matchup mismatch this is on paper and on the field, you don't get that many opportunities to be able to practice what you want to do against other teams. During practices, in your own every Saturday, so on and so forth, you play against other people that know what you want to do, so it's not as beneficial versus playing against a team that doesn't know what you're doing. And then based on how they react, you can adjust going forward. And for this team that has MLQ champs aspirations, that's something they can really take advantage of. We know that John Jackson can run a transition attempt. We know that a lot of these players have an athletic advantage against a lot of what Ottawa does. But is that same advantage going to be present when they play Chicago at the champs, when they play Austin, when they play San Antonio, so on and so forth? That's who they need to play for. And right now, they need to show that they can put together a more coherent offense than what they've shown so far.
Well, with those thoughts, Jason Wu subs onto the pitch for Titans. Looks like their other 5 players are going to remain the same. Shakti, Kodeswaran, Avery Olivar, Mira Rivera-Sila, along with Christian Barnes and Kellen Cupid in the black headbands. Ottawa, meanwhile, I think this is just about the same 6 they were running before. Naomi Hildebrand in green, Aya Tessier, Miranda Naftal, and Ugo Chukwu Wadike in white. It's going to be Alexander Ravache and Sean Barrows in black headbands here. Control is with Titans. Quad ball is with Ottawa after Titans just scored to make it 7-0. And again, that was a heat stoppage. We're going to have those at the 10-minute mark. The 20-minute stoppage will serve as the next one in this game. Have that in game 3 as well. And Titans have already used their timeout, so Ottawa, the only team with the timeout left. Slowly up the pitch, Hildebrand. Ravache kind of moving far ahead of Hildebrand here. I think the play here for Ottawa is control as Cupid steps up just a little bit. Hildebrand goes right, the dodgeball comes left. Paguada marked up top. Goes for the hit and then just kind of looks off. Now goes for the ball strip, gets the wrap through. Ravache gets beat out as they were too slow to beat out Paguada. Naomi Hildebrand is now beat out by Cupid, off and running Rivera-Sila. Tessier to beat. The pass comes near side. Kodeswaran with a very clean finish, 8-0. So yet again, a transition goal for Titans. Jason Ing subbing into this one to play alongside of Rachel Ayala Silver. So they have control gifted to them by Cupid and Barnes, the pair subbing off. Ryan Leary, Lindsay Morella in the white headbands here for Titans. Jason Wu, far side green headband. Wadike just lets himself get wrapped up before Hildebrand gets a huge hit from Kodeshwaran. The bounce pass to Wadike immediately wrapped up by Jason Wu. Great combo defense there from the two rookies for Titans. Kodeshwaran now sprinting up the pitch, slows it down. Wadike gets in front. Pass comes near side Morella. Morella, the little push pass over to Leary, marked by Tessier, and Wadike knocks it down. A good stop there for Ottawa, as that was kind of half a transition chance, half a half court, and it results in a turnover for Titans. The never-ending sub-train for this short-rostered Ottawa team continues. Something that, frankly, is pretty hard to do for a team to constantly be going in and out. But I think they've handled it well so far. As Barasa is behind, Naftal is behind, Tessier is ball handling here. Great catch there from Rakin to win control against Jason Ing and the Titans. Tessier drives through, gets beat up by Ayala Silver. Tessier, I think, her eyes lit up when there was a beat, but Naftal just steals it. Naftal catches the Titans sleeping, and that is 8-1. Terrific effort there from Gwen Naftal.
Starting with Riken. Hell of a catch.
Wu now over half for Titans. Passes it left, Kodeshwaran. Leary Morella behind as the pass options. It goes to Morella, far side, going to be met out by Barasa.
Oh, that's a dig.
She comes back up to the top. Kodeshwaran takes the lane, rips a shot. Tessier knocks it down. And again, Naresh, we're talking about a half-court stop here for the Black Bears. As Geiler keep her ball, we get a whistle here as the ARs have something to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I think what they're talking about is the Ayala Silver kick on the Ottawa beater. Who was that?
Alexander Ravache, 39, Zach
30,
Rakin,
got you,
22.
Yeah, so that was a Rachel Ayala Silver with a dangerous kick on Ravache, who was bending down to pick up a dodgeball. That'll definitely be a yellow card for Ayala Silver. But again, even without that, the fact that Ottawa was able to get a stop there just by getting their hands up and playing active defense is great defense for Ottawa. And that's something that Titans will need to...
You were... correct, Naresh.
Yeah.
It is going to go ahead and be a yellow card for Ayala Silver. So, beater power play here for Ottawa. They are also going to be gifted control here. And obviously, they just got a goal on the back of kind of a lazy defensive play from Titans. They get the stop. A beater power play. Jason Ing, probably the player that Titans want most out there as a lone beater if this situation happens. But if Ottawa scores here, that is a 2-goal swing. Probably not enough to win them the game, but certainly a huge momentum swing that you maybe didn't expect with some of these more experienced Titans players out there playing alongside some rookies. So it's dodgeball back to the middle hoop for Ottawa because Rakin is off broom. Immediate tap in there. Oh, and then the third dodgeball was over on New York's side. So Jason Ing is now going to try to juggle these dodgeballs and keep control for New York by himself.
Yeah, I'm slightly confused here. Maybe I just don't know the rules as well as I thought I did.
The dodgeball that was affected is the one that's turned over.
Got it.
Pass goes far side Barasa, so there was an unaffected dodgeball as the pump fake comes from Barasa. Tessier barred down 8-2. Huge swing here for Ottawa, but Wu is off and running. The ball comes out. He dribbles it back up, slows it down. Kodeshwaran now marked by Geiler. Huge hit. Kodeshwaran just comes down, but gets back up. Wu now has it, gets hit by Naftal. Pass goes way over the top to Morella, and her pass is knocked down 8-2. And Ottawa looks like the better team here for the last 45 seconds.
This is absolute. They're playing with a lot of energy, and that's something I specifically noted when we were watching the Super Series. Even though they had the numbers disadvantage, they were playing with a lot more energy, and that's something I'm very excited to see them go back to.
So Geiler now ball handling with Emily Naftal in front. Control is with Titans here as Ayala Silver's out of the box after that Ottawa goal. Kodeshwaran knocks one down. himself after Ottawa has some active hands in the previous few possessions. That's going to be third time in a row not possible for Ottawa. Skylar hits the ground, non-contact injury. I think the shoe might have come off. There's no whistle, and finally it comes through. You never like to see a non-contact injury, but Skylar doesn't look to be in too much pain, which is certainly a good sign as the trainer's going to head out there.
Yeah, I mean, the score is 8-2. Yeah, and it looks like everyone's going to go back to their benches. And honestly, I think you said it yourself. It might just be slightly even longer than 45 seconds. Ottawa has held New York scoreless on their mini 2-0 run that they've been on so far.
Yeah, so as Skylar is looked to by the trainer here, a lot of the players now, TK talking to the Titans side, the Ottawa side, mostly going to get some water here.
Looks like it's a cramp.
This is a very interesting run we've just talked about, Naresh. You pointed out Ottawa looks to be the team with more energy. Up until that last play with Dakota Schwartz, and they look to be the team with more active hands on defense. They've made a number of hits. Although it doesn't always result in a turnover, no player likes getting hit. And if you hit them enough, either A, it's going to be wear and tear on their body, and B, some players will even start passing before they get hit because they don't like that contact. I don't think Coach Schwartz is one of those players. I think he'll invite contact anytime you're going to give it to him. But still, good things for Ottawa. Again, frankly, I don't think they're going to win this game. I don't think they're going to win game 3. It's really a tough draw for them being in the East Division, constantly having to travel internationally, only getting one home series a year. But I think, again, we see glimpses of they are tactically with the rest of MLQ. They kind of know what's going on. Energy-wise, they are often with the rest of MLQ, just short-staffed as Skylar is clapped off the field as they walk off. 14:31 is our game time here during this injury stoppage. It is Titans walking the ball up the pitch after a stop on Ottawa.
Yeah, and about 15 minutes into game 1, I think Titans were already triple digits by that point. And so the fact that they've been held to 8 goals and it's only 8-2 is a huge win for Ottawa. And that's something we'll have to see how they proceed to do with Skylar potentially taking an extended break. Looks to be just a cramp. They were able to walk off under their own power.
Yeah, in game 1, New York had 9 goals before Ottawa had 1, and New York had 13 goals before Ottawa had 2. So 8-2, certainly making it closer than it was in game 1, although still what you could probably classify as a blowout so far. Hildebrand will come in the green headbands for the injured Max Skylar. Going to be off broom here. I think that's a pretty brutal call. I think it was off broom due to the injury. Like, the player tripped and came off broom, but that's what we're going to do. Ing and Ayala Silver have dodgeballs here, kind of creating a triangle with Coda Schwarn up at the top. We'll see if they immediately look to beat out a lot of defenders. It's Coda Schwarn. Drives in, gets the keeper's own line. The no-look to Morella, who was not expecting it. I think Morella wanted to set a pick. Instead, the pass went, but no harm, no foul as Wu gets the ball before it goes out of bounds. Kodushwaran now, near side. Ryan Leary cannot handle the pass, kicks it over to Morella. Rakin is right there, beats out Morella as Kodushwaran receives the pass at the top. Looks off the hit from Naftal and shoots top hoop, 9-2.
Yeah, again, that's just, they scored, right? So I don't want for it to sound too critical, but the number of drop passes, the sloppy plays, the not being on the same page there really needs to get cleaned up for Titans.
So Hildebrand keeping this one slow. Big press here coming from Ayala Silver. The knockdown from Wu, and that's the beaters and chasers working together, Naresh. You said earlier, looked like the Titans beaters were maybe pressing without their chasers. This time it came through, and Wu is going to be given the quad ball here. Hildebrand off broom. It looks like nobody to beat here. And Jason Wu, easy as you like, 10-2.
Yeah, and that's actually something I'm interested to see if Titans are looking to do a bit more of. I think this team, with the athleticism and the beater depth that they have, they can press any team in this league off the field. But looks like that was just for that one possession to allow for subs to come in.
Kim, Armin Trading, Minson, and Rivera Sela now the 4 quad ball players for Titans. Frank Minson steps up in the green headband, gets beat out. That's going to leave Ing to press. Bad pass there from Hildebrand. Ayala Silver cleans that one out easily. Rivera Sila now sprinting up the pitch. Naftel is beat up by Ing. Rivera Sila comes near side. Not sure why they didn't attack that one hoop. Doesn't matter as they get around Wadike 11-2. Quickly, a 2-0 run or even a 3-0 run here after that injury timeout. That's to be a timeout called by Ottawa. We did note that during that injury stoppage, Tate K was talking to the players in the field. It seems like the message went through to the players.
Yeah, and that's definitely solid. We know this team can run. As we potentially go into the second half of this game, even right before the 20-minute mark, I'd like to see them string together multiple good half-court looks. And if that means slowing it down and just not taking the transition attempt, I think that'll better serve this team in the long run.
Meanwhile, Ottawa, after really good energy, a little 2-0 run for themselves. Clearly now, New York, the team with more energy on the pitch. It feels like Ottawa, something that they've struggled with. I think on this most recent episode of MLQ Replay, Jack McGovern was also pointing out that something Toronto struggles with, so perhaps it is just the way the game is played in Canada a little bit. But both of those teams, and on display just now for Ottawa, really struggle against a high press, a high beater press. A lot of the passes, it seems like the player knows where their teammate is. The pass isn't clean, often off the back foot. The floated pass here allowed Rachel Ayala Silver a really easy beat out to get the stop. Sometimes the pass is just into no one. Potentially something Ottawa might want to take to the drawing board, something they can practice is what happens when your team is getting pressed, how you can survive it, because I think Ottawa has a lot of players who individually can score in one-on-one situations that might come about if you can get that first pass way behind the pressing beaters.
Yeah, and I think a common misconception is for a lot of teams that are struggling with the press, they often look to try to pass out of a press. The way you beat a press is with your legs first. You want to be able to spread the field out and force the defense to come after you and take that beat, but then allow your teammates to get open in on the backside. And I think for a lot of, we saw it with Toronto, we're seeing it with Ottawa. And for any team that struggles with the press, oftentimes they try to just launch a pass into space rather than moving their legs into that space to draw the pressure to them that allows the rest of the team to get open.
So I believe a few subs here for Ottawa on that stoppage. It's going to be Antoine Barassa in green ball handling here for the Black Bears. The immediate throwback here from Barrows. This is going to be control here with Ottawa as Chico's beat out. Chico, I believe, was beat out twice and is still arguing with the ref about it. Meanwhile, Barassa fakes near side, now goes far side with Barrows in front. Howden the near side option as Naftel and Wadike are behind. Cross-court pass, again, just floated despite being under no pressure. Kim easily eats that up. Lawson Keister there to beat some players out. And Barrows is trying to create a turnover. There's no chasers back. Really not a play that the Black Bears need to see their beater make, as it might cost them control. Lawson Keister coming in, the block from Ravash. Meanwhile, the pass goes back to Minson. The no-look pass to Armintrading down the lane with a head of steam, 12-2. That is the kind of offensive possession I think New York, despite it not being like a full half court, I think it's a really good transition set. It wasn't just a one-pass transition. It was a good look and a good play there from Titans.
For sure, and that started with Chico essentially boxing out Barassa.
Yep, Barassa.
Barassa, the beater, and forcing it into a...
Sean Barrows, the beater.
Barrows,
Barassa, the keeper here, ball handling.
Barrows, boxing out Barrows to create a one dodgeball situation for...
Chico gets the block and now wants to press. The pass goes well over the head of Miranda Naftel, but Wadike keeps it inbounds, goes for the block, but then gets beat out by Chico. Good second effort there from the Titans beaters, as Minson is now looking to speed this one up, but the rest of his team is behind him. Despite that, he's going to run this one to the corner. Miss beat from Chico there. Minson took it himself, and kind of a low effort here from the Black Bears, as a bad missed beat from Chico could have led to a turnover, but Chico's the first one to the sideline to get the dodgeball as Titans lead 13-2.
This almost feels like a missed opportunity. Chico was so far out of the play, and Ottawa had the quad ball right in front of Barossa. They should have picked it up and tried to force the issue.
And they let Chico run right back in. A bad throw from NAFTA leads to a catch, and another press here from Titans, a bad pass. The ball is out of bounds. Titans inbound. Rivera Sila now going to ball handle here for New York. Far side just takes off sprinting. One player to beat, gets around Barassa, puts it over Tessier, 14-2. Tessier going to ball handle here for Titans, or for Black Bears, excuse me. 19 minutes is the time. Gwen Naftel comes in. Naomi Hildebrand comes in, both in white headbands. Hildebrand now going to ball handle for Ottawa. The press looks like it's coming. Naftel is beat out. Hildebrand is beat out. Naftel gets the pass, though. Naftel gets stuffed at the hoops. Good team defense there from Armor Trading and Rivera Sila. After what looked like a good opportunity for Ottawa. Armor Trading here, I believe the call from the sideline was hold it for last possession. So we'll see how the Titans look as they slow this one down, although they no longer have control. Get back control now, the call from the Titans sideline. Kim has it near side, met by Tessier, so back out to Armor Trading. Armor Trading, the pump fake, then goes for the shot, puts it through. Although Ottawa didn't get a chance to gain, or New York didn't get a great look at winning control, and they didn't get last possession. So, well, I think New York will take a goal. I'm not really sure it's what the sideline had in mind. 15-2 the score here is Hildebrand. It's walked up by Rakin and Naftel. Control again with Ottawa. They did catch in game one. Control might lead them to another catch here in game two. 1.5. Ehrlich goes for the stiff arm. Hildebrand to Naftel. Naftel driving. Rips a shot. Armor Trading. The rebound to Naftel. Again, the second effort by Armor Trading. Two good stops, although you might hope next time they go for the catch instead of the swat. So at 20 minutes, New York leads 15-2. The set score will be 21. Flag runner catch is worth 3. Ottawa with the same number of goals as last game at the 20-minute mark at 2. Though New York with 5 less. Last game they did have 20. Naresh, do you think the 5 fewer goals for New York here is more of Titans taking a step back or the Black Bears taking a step forward?
I think it's a little bit of both. I know that sounds like a cop-out answer. I think initially we saw Titans just really miss a lot of early attempts, whether it's a missed shot, getting stuffed at the hoops in a no dodgeball situation, just poor passing, but also a large part of it was Ottawa in that brief 3-minute stretch. They were the better team. They had active hands. They were able to stop the Titans' momentum just by getting into the passing lanes. So I think Ottawa has looked a lot better in this game 2 than they did game 1. And Titans, there's a lot of possessions for them that they want to take back. So it'll be interesting to see how both teams decide to go into this 20-minute, the rest of this game post 20 minutes.
So again, Ottawa did catch the flag runner in game 1. They had a lot of success catching flag runners in the Super Series as well. So I'd be interested to see if New York really focuses on that flag runner. Just again, as kind of a practice opportunity. Obviously, there are some deadly seekers around the league, including on this Ottawa side. But again, a close game at championships where your team needs the win to really feel, or needs the catch to really feel comfortable to get the win. That practice comes now. It comes again against what is really a talented beater side for Ottawa, I think. Only 4 of them. They've held control for large swaths. And I think, crucially, New York, really all of their beaters on roster have had some terrible throws today. Throwing away control left and right. Sometimes just throwing the ball away and having to chase it back, it doesn't lose them control, but it really tires out the legs. Something they don't want to be doing against, as you said earlier, Chicago, Austin, San Antonio, even Boston, who's already taken a game off of them this year. So potentially something they'll look to clean up. And back to a thread we keep pulling at Naresh with watching New York in the half court. You said earlier, John Jackson knows how to run transition. We know Lindsay Merlin knows how to run in transition. What do you think about when it's Amiri Rivera-Sila, Jason Wu, Shakti Kodeswar, and Ryan Leary, rookies, What about them running in transition? Is that maybe just a good confidence boost for these rookies to know that they can take it to an MLQ team and have the confidence to go coast to coast?
Yeah, 100%. I think for them, it's one of those things where it is a confidence booster for sure. But I think especially for them who, again, some of those players, Ryan Leary, who's seen success in their first series against Washington Admirals, Rivera Sila, who popped off against the Boston Forge. As much as I want to say, yes, go for it, you want to give them the opportunity to run in transition, I think for this team in particular, being able to establish the half court, because that's where they've struggled a lot more, is more important. But I think the problem inherently becomes, because of the limited opportunities for these younger players, they want to put up goals. They want to put up they want to stuff the stat sheet. And so I can't really blame them for running the opportunities as often as they can.
So Rakin here is going to start with his arms basically around Rachel Ayala Silver, far side here. So Ayala Silver and Ing have control. The pass to Jackson, he knocks it down and picks it up. So it's going to be Ing and Ayala Silver here, as 16-2 is the score, the set score being 21.
Yeah, and this is where I'd rather see potentially someone other than Jackson. Jackson is absolutely unstoppable in a cinch on pitch, flag runner on pitch scenario. Let's see if what Zach Armitrade can do. Put Shakti Kodeswaran in, right? Those are the potential people you might need to throw in at championship weekend.
Cupid with a lot of time here in the flag runner as Hildebrand looks around a hit. Naftel gets it out far side. Good one-handed catch there from Miranda Naftel from Gwen. Over the top, Tessier cannot clean it up. Rakin is in. It looks like Ottawa is going to go full on dodgeballs on quad ball here. Although I believe this ball went out of bounds and it should be a Ryan Leary and New York Titans inbound.
Oh, that's a tough call by the goal judge there. Goal judge was actively inbounds making that call, turning around. I don't know if that ball went out of bounds.
Miranda Naftel also sitting on the ground here. Hopefully she's all right. Potentially just a cramp. Although with Geiler going down earlier and a short roster here for Ottawa, an injury is really the last thing they need. It is Alex Ravache and Kellen Cupid, the two seekers here. Ravache hasn't really gotten a lot of good looks as Ayala Silver and Ing really dominate this space. Although control is currently with Rakin and Naftel spread wide on the pitch. Naftel's going to walk off under her own power, and Meg Howden will be the sub here in the white headband. So again, it's going to be a Ryan Leary inbound. Zach Rakin, Ottawa beater, is all the way back, also at that sideline. So we'll see if he tries to press here before Wu can get the ball, but that is not going to happen. Meanwhile, Ing and Ayala Silver just looking around. Ing go as Cupid gets the catch. Cupid had a lot of time before the whistle, but it looks like a little burst of speed, a little bit out of the flow of the game comes the flag run, and that's all Cupid needed in order to catch. That catch is good. Of course, the score will be 19-2 in favor of New York, and they would just need 2 goals to win. The catch is good. So that's 19-2 here. Kellen Cupid with the catch for the Titans, and they need just 2 goals as Ottawa trails badly, only scoring 2 goals so far this game, trailing 19-2. Though they do have control here. Everyone back for Ottawa except Rakin, who does have a dodgeball, going to be bothered by Ayala Silver and Ing, I would anticipate right here. So Jason Wu is going to be ball handling, gets it immediately to John Jackson, met by Howden, fake right, go left, backs it up, uses Ayala Silver here a little bit, spins the corner, gets it to Ryan Leary. That shot goes through, I think, the top hoop, and just 1 away are the Titans from ending game 2. 20-2 is the score. Hildebrand to Tessier. Barasa now in the green headband here for Ottawa. He receives the pass. Ottawa again with control, 1.5, something they've done a lot of. Rakin, great catch. No dodgeballs at all now for New York, but Tessier couldn't handle the pass. John Jackson off and running, slows it up. Ing got back, got a dodgeball, goes for the throw. That's a good block there from Naftel. And the Ottawa Beaters, again, really, they've had some good stretches in these games. Esmeralda now receives the pass. She's right at the goal line, goes back up top to Leary. Ing in front of Leary, but Barasa cannot be beat out. Naftel steps up to Jackson. The pass goes back to Leary and back to Jackson once again. Now the pass goes to a cutting Jason Wu. He gets a great block, then goes out to Morella. Morella misses high. That's going to be a turnover. And once again, New York is really struggling to score in a half court.
Yeah, and I think that was super unfortunate. Morella missed the medium hoop getting tapped out by Jason Ng. That she could have had a much easier shot instead of trying to take on the defense and ripping it small hoop.
So Ottawa again with a chance. Barrows now in, sprinting up is Barasa. The pass goes too high to Naftel. She comes away with it. Ng cannot get the dodge off. Tessier is being really heavily bothered here by Wu. But finally, Barasa fakes high, goes low, gets hit on the ground. Howden now racing for it, but Lindsay Morella is going to win that race. Lindsay Morella boxes out Howden until it goes out of bounds. The ball is out of bounds. I don't know what we're doing here. The goal ref's hand went in the air to signify out of bounds, but no whistle came. I think the discussion here is going to be whether or not this ball was off New York. A little bit surprised by Morella. Obviously, a huge IQ play if it is off of Ottawa to just force the ball out of bounds. But it looks like the refs are going to discuss whether or not a New York player tipped it, in which case a ball Morella probably could have just picked up might be getting turned over to Ottawa here. Long discussion here about it. Yeah, it's going to be inbound New York. So ultimately a good play here from Morella. Although Rachel Ayala Silver is getting an unsporting. No.
Jason
Wu is getting. They called number 12, which is Ayala Silver. But yeah, it's Rachel Ayala Silver is getting the call here for unsporting conduct. We're obviously up in the press box. We're not exactly sure what happened. That call is commonly made if a player throws a broom, potentially talks back to a ref, or even makes a referee call if there'd been warnings earlier. So unclear why, but it is going to be a power play here for Ottawa, although the inbound is with Lindsay Morella and the New York Titans. Morella immediately gets this one to Wu in the keeper headband, so New York now can kill a little bit of time. Again, a goal wins it for them. So while they might be killing a little bit of time here with Ayala Silver in the box, if they see a look, they're definitely going to take it. Chris Balasa subs in for John Jackson. So Naresh, again, as you said earlier, we know Jackson knows how to close a game. Balasa's now going to get a chance along with Leary and Wu, although Lindsay Morella maintains her spot on the field, I think, to offer a little bit of expertise and experience here with the rest of these younger players. Wu now gets the pass near side. Good block there from Ng. A no-look pass. Balasa hadn't cut. He picks it up on the bounce. Leary's beat out. Balasa looks like he dodges a beat. He gets beat out as Wu gets it. Morella over the top. That is a well-connected passing play for Titans. Lindsay Morella ultimately gets the goal, and Titans win 21-2.
Yeah, I think not to be the rain on the parade, but it looked like Leary got away with a throw after beat. But that's the offense that we can see from Titans. That we know they can do it. We've seen it in spurts. Now the idea is to see it consistently. But that was a very, very well-defined play where every single person on the Titans offense touched the ball, and that's the way they would want to finish.
All right, so once again, the final score here, 21-2. Kellen Cupid and the New York Titans with the flag runner catch. Game 3 will be with us in, I think, about 20 minutes, so we'll call that 2:35 Eastern time. Stay right here on this stream. We'll stay live, although we are going to go ahead and mute that microphone until we get back. Welcome back for Game 3, everyone, between the New York Titans and the Ottawa Black Bears. New York has already clinched the series, winning the first 2 games. They are wearing white, defending the right-hand hoops. Ottawa is wearing black and defending the left-hand hoops. I am Keegan Remy Miller. I am joined by Naresh Adala once again for this series finale between these 2 East teams. We will get you the starting lineups as folks come out onto the pitch. From a first glance, it looks like Kellen Cupid and Elizabeth Lawson-Keister will be starting in black for the Titans. Jason Wu in green and Shakti Kodaswaran, Ryan Leary, and Amira Rivera-Sila in white. Meanwhile, for Ottawa, it looks like Zach Rakin and Emily Naftel in black, Antoine Barasa in green, and Aya Tessier, Miranda Naftel, and Ugo Chukwu Wadike in white. Alex Amidal is the head referee once again for this game.
Something to look out for is Riken actually won the rock, paper, scissors against Kellen Cupid for the blue dodgeball. And it looks like Cupid will Cupid will still line up against the blue dodgeball to see who gets it.
Alex Amidal giving us the thumbs up. They are ready down on the field. We are ready up here in the booth.
Early storyline to see if Cupid will respect those results.
Watch the camera. It's way too
Oh,
down.
that's on me.
Both teams are ready. Brooms down and brooms up. Sprinting here, Wadike and Rivera-Sila. Rivera-Sila gets to it, gets it out to Kodaswaran. Kodaswaran marked by Tessier, gets around the corner. Shakti Kodaswaran, over to Jason Wu. Gets the assist. Jason Wu with the goal, 1-0 New York. So control here as Wadike gets stripped by Rivera-Sila. Wadike cannot keep it in bounds. Good defense there from Titans as early on really bothering Ottawa. Control is with Lawson-Keister and Cupid of New York. Shakti Kodaswaran gets it down low. Going to be marked by Barasa here. Kellen Cupid coming through. Tries to get a beat. Just gets stripped by Rakin. Loss of control here from Cupid, who wasn't really in a great position anyway. Rivera-Sila goes over the top. That shot misses. Kodaswaran keeps it in bounds. Marked by Tessier's. 2 beaters are on the ground. Battling. Barasa cannot get the stop. Kodaswaran gets the goal. And Cupid somehow managed to come out of that with dodgeball control. So Cupid ultimately does not lose control, although not a great look on that offensive possession. 2-0 and more of the same early here for New York as they jump out to a 2-0 lead. Barasa being led in by Emily Naftel. Jason Wu going to pick him up at the keeper line. Cannot be beaten that green headband. The pass goes to Wadike well behind. Lawson-Keister, bothered by Rakin, finally does close out. The pass comes over to Gwen Naftel. Gwen Naftel gets it up to Tessier, but she's beat out, and Rivera-Sila is there to pick it up. Rivera-Sila wants to run with speed. Cupid, the pump fake, then the beat on Naftel. No, the beat's no good. Cupid then gets beat. I think they're going to call Naftel beat before, as Rivera-Sila comes up with that solo effort. Cupid clearly hit with a dodgeball. I guess they said that Naftel got beat before she got the throw out, although I'm not really sure that was an accurate call as New York leads 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, something I like from the Titans the entire series so far is the fact that they've switched up starting lines with different players to see what they can do. And this looks like they're going into their high press again.
Barasa all the way over the top. Shakti Kodaswaran, first one there. Not a good look there from Ottawa as New York forces them into an early bad pass. Rivera-Sila subbing out behind the play. Looks like Lindsay Morella coming into this one as Naftel wraps up Kodaswaran. Cupid there to clean her out. Kodaswaran's strong enough to stand his feet through contact. Pass goes right. That's Ryan Leary now. Leary goes right, shoots on that open hoop. Tessier, I believe, had been beat out before that. 4-0 New York.
That was just a phenomenal heads-up play by Jason Wu to screen out Tessier from that medium hoop for Ryan Lear to hit that shot. Great timing.
Scream, not a beat. That's my bad. Meg Howden now subbing into this game. Lex Nakanishi, who received an early injury in Game 1, did not play Game 2, is back in, so that's nice to see them in this one. Naomi Hildebrand now also in the green headband for Ottawa. New York is already off to a much better start in this one than they were in game 2. DK with some pump fakes, then goes right to a beater. That's not the good look. Unforced error again from Ottawa. Smarella knocks it back to her teammates. Jason Wu all the way up the pitch. Cannot quite handle the ball. Gets a kick off to Morella. Can she save it before it goes out of bounds? No, she cannot. I think she knocked it down, but her momentum carried it out. And kind of an unforced error there from Titans.
Oh, that...
Wadike has not inbounded the ball yet. Morella just gets beat out. Again, we mentioned this earlier. Wadike is still relatively new to this sport. Was more praised for contact than looking to walk in, although Hildebrand's now going to ball carry this one up the pitch.
Yeah, it also looks like Morella touched Wadike there when Wadike was out of bounds. That's not legal, and she should have been sent back to hoops there if that touch did happen.
Ultimately beat out and back to hoops, so really no harm, no fouls. Ehrlich gets a beat. Ehrlich and Mullins now the beating pair. Wadike gets it near side. Wu backs up a little bit. Fake pass left. Now it goes right. Naftel can't handle the pass. Does throw it back. I think that was a little bit late, but ultimately New York is going to get the stop anyways. Kim and Kodeshwaran kind of knock into each other there going for the loose ball.
That also looked like back contact from my angle, but looks like the refs are just going to let him play for a bit.
Minson to Morella now. Some more experience on the field for Titans as Kodeshwaran's going to ball handle with Mullins in front. Hildebrand going to pick it up with the green headband. The pass goes to Minson deep corner. Naftel and Hildebrand both jump out. Meanwhile, Kim comes through. That was set play by Jacob Ehrlich, 5-0.
Yeah, now the Titans have consistently scored on that medium hoop off of either a screen or a beat, so they've shown that they can get the half-court look that they want. So I'd like to see them be able to continue to do that throughout this game.
Yeah, something they really struggled with in both of the first 2 games. So far, though, they've had no problems at all. Really, all their 6 players on the field on the same page, it seems like. Meg Howden is beat out. I think got away with a late swat. Wadike is bothered enough by Kim to allow Ehrlich to come through and make the beat. And a timeout for New York. Interesting, they called an early timeout in Game 2 as well. Although in Game 2, the momentum really wasn't on their side. Here in Game 3, up early 5-0. They've looked like the better team. They've been able to score in the half court at will, something they really weren't able to do in the first 2 games. I'm a little bit surprised by this early timeout here from Tate K and the New York Titans.
Yeah, something that we were talking about in Game 2, about something we disagreed with, but we didn't get a chance to talk about, was the ability for head coach Tate K to talk to the second line before taking that timeout. But something we didn't call out was the fact that he replaced the entire second line, or the first line, with the second line coming off that timeout. And so I'll be interested to see if this timeout is used as a talking to with the entire team, and then the entire first line gets subbed off as well.
So this actually already is mostly the second line for New York out there. They've already gone through 1 set of subs. Morella not having started this game. The number of other players, Minson not having started this game. Kodeshwaran was one of the starters who sat there. Kim also not having started this game. So 3 of those 4 players had subbed out, and both beaters did as well. Cupid and Lawson Keister, the starting pair, but Mullins and Ehrlich, the pair we just saw out there. Meanwhile, Ottawa is really just grouping up, doing their best to keep cool here. Extremely hot. The feels like is over 100, and obviously these players playing on turf, it doesn't make it any better, especially I think a lot of players out there know tough on your feet. The turf can get really hot. Cleats don't offer a lot of protection there. And with this Ottawa team obviously coming out of Canada, while they're used to heat, especially in the last few years, I'm not sure how often they practice in temperatures quite this high.
Yeah,
it looks like Naresh, you are right. There's going to be at least a few subs here for New York, although potentially just getting Paguada in and Kodeshwaran out. So the other 5 players might remain the same here.
Yeah, before the Titans timeout was called, it looked like they were set up in a full court press. They just got the turnover. So that'll be interesting to see if they continue to practice that full court or at least half court press go in the rest of this game.
Barrows, the only dodgeball for Ottawa here as they set up to play defense. Mostly been running a 2-2 today. We'll see if they look to do that again as they do. Howden and Hildebrand will be the 2 players up top. Annika Kim ball handling far side. Mullins in front of her to create space. The bounce pass to Morella. Morella comes around the corner, marked by Hildebrand, right back to Kim. Kim now taking some space, closed out. Tessier, the backhanded pass to Minson, and Minson scores behind the back of Sean Barros, the Ottawa keeper, or Ottawa beater, make it 6-0. Hildebrand gonna sub off here for Antoine Barasa. Max Schuyler was injured in game 2, and we have not seen them since. Ottawa might be down to fewer players than they started the day with here. Mullins comes through, makes a beat. Tessier is beat out. Minson now sprinting back. Ravache throwing a dodgeball back instead of going for the attempted beat on Minson. A kick there from Ehrlich is going to put it off pitch. That should be a turnover, and I see an AR's hand in the air as Jacob Ehrlich kicked a dodgeball off pitch without making a beat attempt. But it is 7-0 now for Titans.
And I think for the most part, this is
And
the
they are not
Titans-
going to call a dodgeball turnover there. Ravache makes the beat on Ehrlich. Ehrlich really offering nothing, like halfway between wanting to throw back and block. In the end, gets neither option off as Barasa now ball handling with Ravache in front. The pump fake gets Minson off the feet, but nothing else from Ottawa here. Again, a pump fake, and then again backing up, moving left now. Minson all over Barasa, cannot be beat in the keeper zone. Dodgeball's on the ground, but nothing doing. The bounce pass to Naftel again doesn't work. And Naresh, we've talked about this before. Really, the passing has not been clean at all from Ottawa.
No, and again, this is just fundamentals. This is something that at practice takes some time, 15, 20 minutes to focus on catching and throwing, because fundamentals will win you games.
Vinny Chico now in the black headband, subbing for Jacob Ehrlich. Mullins going to remain out there along with the chaser core here for Titans. Annika Kim up top, as it looks like Barros is going to win control from Chico, and Tessier knocks down the pass. Tessier off and running after Chico is bothered by Barros. There's no dodgeballs back. Tessier puts the brakes on, gets it to Barasa. Barasa pump fake, puts it home. Great move there from Sean Barros. Give him the assist as Tessier and Barasa run a great fast break to make it 7-1.
Looks like there might be a beater foul. Yeah, and Barros is headed to the penalty box immediately without a ref making a call. So we actually might get this goal turned over.
Yeah, if there's a beater foul there, it's definitely going to be pull the goal back. There was a lot of contact between Chico and Barros, potentially from behind, potentially contact on a player without the ball. I was more focused on the breakaway than what the two beaters were getting up to there. But essentially, I think even with a penalty, I mean, if there's a penalty, Chico really got bailed out, subbed into the game, and just immediately let himself be wrapped. The ball's now on the ground. It led to a fast break opportunity for Ottawa, and again, even if it's called back, it's not something that you want to see as this Titans coach. Contact on a player without a ball. So I think, again, we saw this earlier as well. I think the dodgeball got knocked out of Chico's hands, and then there was contact. So it is going to pull the goal.
The goal should be
The goal
no
should
good.
be pulled back, although it still says 7-1 on the scoreboard.
Unless it happened after the goal. That could be
So
a thing.
potentially it happened. Nope,
Oh, yeah.
7-0. So it is going to take Ottawa's first goal of the game away. Although, again, it's something that Chico really needs to watch here, as Ottawa's beaters are willing to play physical. If they could keep it legal next time, it could lead to a goal for the Black Bears. Paguada over half. Fakes left, fakes right, stands still. Now fakes right. Barasa gets the wrap, gets the knockout. Minson there to pick it up. Minson has Mullins right in front, but can't do anything about it. Finally gets around Wadike far side, 8-0. Antoine Barasa ball handling here. Ravache, the only dodgeball for Ottawa, leading him up. Miranda Naftel, the near side option, going deep. Instead, the pass goes to Wadike, far side. Wadike one against Paguada, goes high. Minson comes in to cover hoop. Chico misses a point-blank beat. Wadike can't quite make it land from the ground. And Vinny Chico subs in and kind of back-to-back possessions with not great plays there. Certainly not going to hurt Titans in the long run in this series, but something that individually he'll need to think about after this game.
Yeah, it looks like it's just an injury stoppage for Gwen Naftel.
So Gwen Naftel subs out. It's going to be, I think, Meg Howden coming into this one for the Black Bears as they trail 8-0. So far, I'd say Game 3 has been New York's best-looking game of the series. They've looked better in the half court than they had in either of the other two, and at least so far, as they're up 8, Ottawa really has not gotten momentum at any point, except potentially, you could say, on that goal that was called back due to a beater foul behind the play. So Minson is going to start here in the green headband in the keeper zone for Titans. Immediately passes it back to Kim to give Titans players a little bit of time and space here as Chico's now sprinting up the pitch. Chasers didn't go with him. It could cost Chico control here as it's going to be a running race between Ravache and Chico. Ultimately, Chico's going to get away with it, but again, a really aggressive play with no thought as to what his Chasers were doing. Paguada gets through Wadike over the head of Morella. Morella gets beat in the back distance from Barros. The ball never went out of bounds, though. Minson picks it up, rips it back, and Kim gets it. Somehow, New York keeps this one alive, although control is with Ottawa. Chico makes the beat on Barasa as Kim goes right over the top. This time, it will go out of bounds via turnover to Ottawa. And Vinny Chico's having a really tough stretch of it here. Christian Barnes now in to partner as Chico subs out for Jason Ng.
Yeah, but also I do want to give a shout out to Ottawa Beaters. The entire series, right? Everyone thought that this would be a huge mismatch. It wasn't going to be close, but Ottawa Beaters have shown that they can compete even in stretches where they've been able to get control and keep control. And so just wanted to quickly shout them out as well for the ability for them to stay in this game.
So Hildebrand over half being led in by Emily Naftel. Zach Rakin going all the way around far side corner, marked by Jason Ng. He's going to look to make a catch here, and does. Great play there from Ng. Clearly set up for the catch. Immediately Rakin goes for the hit on Barnes, gets beat out for his efforts. Naftel over the top. Wadike knocks it down with a hand, gets it on the dribble. Ng closes out, makes the beat with his feet. And a good stop there for Titans. Jason Ng making an immediate impact.
Bro, this tripod is horrendous. That's just 10-minute heat stoppage.
This is now the 10-minute heat stoppage, something we did in Game 2, and again, we're doing here in Game 3 due to the excessive heat here in New Jersey. So here we are at 10 minutes. New York up 8-0. And again, not to be a broken record here, but it really is New York's best game, I think, so far of this series. Potentially, it could be Ottawa's down a few players, a lot shorter of a lineup. They're obviously feeling the heat, feeling the earlier two games, but I think they've also made some good adjustments, Tate K and the coaching staff there, because New York really does look a lot better in this half-court offense.
Yeah, I mean, we said it at the end of Game 2, but we've seen that this team can and knows what to do, but being able to piece it together consistently was always going to be an issue. But I think there were nearly of the 8 goals that they've had, I'd say 4 or 5 of them were in the half court just because of their ability to find the open person, take space, and just find the open shot. And those type of consistent passes will get this team a lot more consistent looks, regardless of who they're playing. And especially, it's good to build habits like that going into their series against Charlotte, and then obviously championships in about a month from now.
Meanwhile, the Ottawa players down Max Geiler, I think potentially down Lex Nakanishi as well. Both of those players going down earlier with injury. We've seen one shift from Nakanishi in this game, but I'm not sure they're really a go-to option at this point. They really look like they're running out of energy, although kind of in this 8 to 12 minute mark in the first 2 games is when Ottawa really seemed to get their first win to the game and maybe surprise New York, who at that point in each game had settled into a rhythm. So see coming out of this heat stoppage if they're able to make a little run themselves. They did score 4 games in game 1 and 2 games in game 2. So New York definitely looking to hold them to 0 in this game and keep that pattern going.
Yeah, but I think it might be a tad too late for this Ottawa team at this point. I think the Heat's finally gotten to them. And with such a short roster, it's definitely a tough ask for them to be able to continue playing with that high energy that they've shown the first couple of games.
So it looks like New York is going to keep all their players out there. Actually, I think both teams might be required to, as this wasn't either team calling a timeout, it was a heat stoppage. But we are just over the 10-minute mark here. Jason Ng, again, just having made a catch to win control and then made a beat to force a turnover, is going to lead New York Titans to have the quad ball in the hands of Eric Paguada. Barnes immediately making a beat on Naftel, but Paguada not interested in running as Kim is going to sub out for Rivera Sila. Varela is going to sub out for Avery Olivar. Barnes is beat out, although the dodgeball is well back in the Titans' side, and that's going to be control staying with New York. Paguada, far side, Rivera Sila. Naftel and Hildebrand, the 2 up top in this 2-2 defense for Ottawa. Varasila just barred down, does not get it. Mid's a behind the back pass, and then bar down for Avery Olivar. Good goal and a fancy assist there for Minson. So 9-0, now the Titans lead. They look to keep this momentum up. Rachel Ayala Silver into this one in the black headband, and Luis Mendoza in green for the Titans. Hildebrand slowly going to bring this one up over half. Wadike, Tessier, Naftel, the options. This one's Gwen Naftel here. Emily Naftel, meanwhile, is going for the wrap on Ng before backing out. Tessier can do nothing with that pass as Ayala Silver was all over her. Paguada now subbing for Armin Trading as Olivar. Slowly up the pitch, moving near side, Ayala Silver in front with the dodgeball to protect her there. Hildebrand is going to be in the green headband at the top of this 2-2 defense, cannot get beat out. The handoff to Rivera Sila. Coming now left, Hildebrand there, and before going back right to pick up Naftel. The little swim move, good hands there from Tessier. Tessier picks it up, Mendoza there to bother, but Hildebrand gets it. Zachary Armin Trading now, definitely going to try to swat this one out. The second Hildebrand goes over the line. Mendoza, I think, pushed too early. That should be a back to hoops for Mendoza. It's either a turnover or a back to hoops. Instead, neither is called. Now Ng came in, gets wrapped up by Rakin, gets beat out, and Jason Ng looking to take advantage of aggressive playing by Mendoza instead loses control. Kind of a mental lapse there from New York. Naftel gets it behind Wadike. Wadike with space throws it right over the head of Aya Tessier, and again, Ottawa just cannot string together any passes. 9-0 remains the score. Olivar steps inbounds with this one, get a ball handled. Coming up over half, Ng and Ayala Silver looking to win control back. The dodgeball is in the hands of Jason Ng. Far side, Amiri Rivera-Sila gets it. Armin Trading receives the pass as they're backing up. Going to be marked by Naftel. Fake right, comes back left. Rivera-Sila now working the top of the key as Titans try to win control back. The pass behind Armin Trading going to be met by Wadike immediately. That's going to be contact from behind on a player without a ball. Choose whichever card you like. It's going to see Wadike into the box. So what had been a good defensive possession up to that point for Ottawa is going to turn into a power play for New York. Dodgeball is kind of all over the place here. All 3 dodgeballs are on the ground at the moment. One right by Jason Ng near mid-pitch. The other 2 both firmly in the Titans' end of things. One at the far sideline and one
Next to Tate.
I think one is still in the hands of an AR here. Yeah, on the far side, about near the Titans keeper zone. Looks like that's where the ball is going to be placed. So huge advantage here for Titans. Although Ayala Silver is off broom, I think Ng is going to win control and Armin Trading is going to have a no dodgeball look here. Mendoza and Olivar both on broom as well. Armin Trading drives in the pick against Hildebrand, leads to no resistance. 10-0 is now the Titans lead. Jason Ng now throwing a dodgeball back. doing his best to manipulate a third. Hildebrand, I think, is going to be called here for not advancing as they came to a complete standstill before leaving the keeper's own line. And Jason Ng now really applying pressure against Ottawa. Mendoza is awarded the quad ball here. Driving in. Ng makes the beat on Wadike. Hildebrand gets the ball out on Mendoza. Mendoza picks it up, though. Gets the pass to Olivar. She tried to catch it one-handed and just lost it. Ng's still here to beat out Naftel. Naftel has to let go. Leary, or Olivar is fighting for it. Rivera Sila ends up picking it up. Titans do eventually get that goal, 11-0. So Naomi Hildebrand now makes the ball live, passes it up to Tessier. Going to be a sub behind the plate. Antoine Barassa back into this one. The beat on Naftel. Barassa now gets the pass, marked by Rivera Sila. Cross court on one bounce, on two bounces. Wadike, marked by Mendoza, goes right, shoots high. Armitrating almost knocked it in, but it didn't go. Wadike now picks up the rebound. Good defense there, though, from Olivar and Armitrating to get the ball out. Mendoza now has it in the green headband. Titans officially get the stop, although they do lose control, and we see Lex Nakanishi back into this one. Good news here for Ottawa as they get a little bit of reinforcements from a player who did need to take an injury sub earlier today.
Yeah, I will say that last offensive possession by Ottawa was probably their best press-breaking idea. Throwing into space where only their chasers can get it was a very good idea for them.
Dodge there. Jason Ng can't hit the beat. Ayala Silver is beat out, is called clear due to immunity, although I'm not really sure she had her fist in the air. Naftel now driving through, gets it on a dribble. Barros beats out Armitrating, but it was too late. Armitrating back into the game. Barros was so far in front of Naftel that the beat came too early. Wadike, huge hit. The beat comes through on Armitrating. Ottawa is getting another chance at this. Barassa gets through Mendoza, gets through Olivar. Barassa fakes up, goes left, and Ottawa will not be shut out in this series as they now trail 11-1.
Yeah, and there's that energy we were talking about. It almost looks like they have that stretch of 2 minutes where they will be one of the best teams on the field.
And it's, again, an unforced error from a New York beater as Jason Ng went for a press, threw a dodgeball away. It lost control, and it led to a no dodgeball look. He's not the first Titans beater to make that mistake today, and again, it's something they really, really need to clean up before championships. Lawson Keister now into this one alongside Kellen Cupid, the starting pair in this game. It's Chris Balassa is going to ball handle. Fakes left and then finally goes to Annika Kim on one bounce. Pass goes behind to Ryan Leary. Ryan Leary goes left, dunks on an unguarded hoop, 12-1. Timeout called here by Ottawa. The referee is not paying attention. So beater play continues to go on well after Ottawa tried to call the timeout. Amadal was watching the beater play, which was a lot more active, obviously, than the quad ball at the time. So here as Ottawa calls their timeout, they trail 12-1. They do just get on the board for the first time today. Naresh, as we pretty quickly approach 20 minutes, we've been talking a lot about how this has been New York's best game so far. What is left to play for here? Obviously not the game, obviously not the series, but what are kind of each of these teams able to talk about in the huddle as maybe something to work on as we head towards the 20-minute stoppage?
For sure, and I think this actually goes back into what we had talked about earlier in Game 2 is for some of these younger players, do they go for those transition attempts or do they slow it down and are they going to be forced into running a half court? I think the rest of this game, continue running the half court. Because again, there was that brief stretch for the Titans where they weren't all on the same page. They were throwing the ball away. And that sort of thing where for as good as they looked for majority of this game, the ability to get these younger players a lot more reps in that half court setting will be huge for them during this game as they keep going forward. And for Ottawa, I think honestly, hey, you got a goal out of this. You are playing with energy, and the fact that you're down a few players into this Game 3, I think for them is just finish this Game 3, see if you can get a goal, see if you can get a catch, one more positive thing out of it, and then go home without any more injuries. I think that's the goal, and for Ottawa, it's really just piecing together going forward, just good catches, passes, and being able to put together they have the mental side of it locked down. Now they got to get the physical side of being able to catch and throw cleanly to be able to see a lot more success going forward.
So this timeout lingering a little bit. I think that's, again, just due to the heat today. Amenal allowing all the players to get a little bit of extra rest and a little bit of extra water. I think crucially, obviously, Naresh, we've been harping on a lot of flaws from New York because, quite frankly, they've been dominant, and there's only so many ways you can say they've been dominant throughout. I think if you are the 2 seed from the North or from the South, whoever that may end up being, potentially Detroit, obviously Austin, League City, San Antonio, really the South, no one is sure. And you pull New York, or New York chooses to play you in the quarterfinals at Champs. It almost feels like this is a series that team might just choose not to watch. They don't think they can learn from it. I think there's a lot to learn about New York from this series. Potentially not about their very best players. Obviously, Tate K and Josh Johnson, Devin Lee, none of them even rostered in this game. Lindsey Morella and John Jackson. I think you know what you're getting from them. I don't think watching this you're going to learn a lot about. The Beaters have been throwing balls away all over the place. The short shots, the upward shots, the push shots from 6 yards, 5 yards, mostly have not been falling for New York. I think there's actually a lot you can gain out of this and some situations you can try to force at least the New York depth into. And I think if you can force New York to just play their starters, we saw last year in that Chicago semifinal series, they are human. They do eventually get tired. And so potentially that is something that you can exploit here against New York.
Yeah, but it's also the fact that New York has shown that they want to run a press with their beaters. That's something they haven't shown against other teams. So if you're trying to potentially see what they're planning on doing.
Speed immediately from Ottawa. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off, but Ottawa finally showed some speed for the first time all day, but they do end up kind of backing out of it. Nakanishi backing up against Lawson Keister. Lawson Keister, great catches. Naftel catches it, but is immediately eaten up by John Jackson. Kellen Cupid comes in to clean it out. Some good looks for Ottawa, ultimately come in nothing. Kellen Cupid sprinting in. Barrows is just going to knock that one back to Nakanishi and not do anything too aggressive here. As John Jackson ball handles this one over half. Cupid makes the beat on Barrows. The pass comes near side to Ryan Leary. Nakanishi gets the block and then the beat, although Ryan Leary just beats Antoine Barassa to that near side hoop, puts it home 13-1.
Again, that was another good screen off by Barassa to move the hoop defender out of the play so that Leary can go dunk it.
Control remains with the Titans. Barassa over half. Nakanishi and Barrows looking to win control here. John Jackson in the green, cannot be beat. A 1-3 defense here from New York. Not something we've seen a lot from them today, although Barassa sprints out to intercept a bad pass. John Jackson off and running. Just Barassa to beat. Instead comes to Chris Barassa. Barassa with nobody to beat. The score is now 14-1.
Yeah, and again, goes back into my earlier point. This is his game. If people are trying to scout Titans, this is a game where they've shown they will run a trees and run a press. And this is obviously for them, this is the series to do it against. And for teams that are scouting, this is a perfect series to see how those tendencies look, right? And now if they throw a press at Chicago or at any of this North or South twos, they'll see what the New York tendency looks like.
So Naftel now ball handling with Emily Naftel and Alex Ravache in front. Ravache the only dodgeball here. Lawson Keister the pump fake. Going to be bothered a little bit by Naftel, but ultimately is going to jump out. The knockdown from John Jackson, the beat out comes on Naftel and on the second Naftel as well. John Jackson now. Lawson Keister off and running. John Jackson slows it down before speeding it up once again. Lawson Keister trying to clear the way. Hildebrand can't be beat. Good block from Ravache. Cupid with the catch as John Jackson takes it himself, misses the shot, but Chris Barassa puts it through. No whistle. Barassa goes back for the second effort. Good heads-up play there, although it was just a late whistle. The first goal was, in fact, good. 15-1. Very close to the 20-minute mark here as Hildebrand slowly marches this one up the pitch. Tessier, Howden, and Miranda Naftel, the passing options. Emily Naftel and Alexander Ravache, the two beaters. Meanwhile, in trees, John Jackson up top, Balasa Kim and Leary on hoops. Ehrlich now into this one in a black headband alongside Tessa Mullins for the Titans. Pass goes far side. That's Howden. Howden marked by Jackson gets the pass deep to Tessier. Tessier has a lot of space here in this 1-3. Kim steps out. Tessier comes around the corner. Shot high. Also over the hand of Hildebrand. That's going to be a turnover here. Balasa, the first to the ball, though, picks it up. Nobody back. Chris Balasa, always known as a spark plug energy player, 16-1. And that is the 20-minute stoppage. So 16-1, the set score will be 22. Last time it was 15-2 at 20 minutes, and despite the score being almost identical, this game has felt a lot different. Ottawa really felt like they had their best game in Game 2, and it's New York that feels like they've had their best game so far here in Game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for Ottawa, they're exhausted. You can see a lot of their players slowly walking off the pitch. For Titans, they look energized. They look like the team that we all thought they were going to be, and I think this Game 3, it's been a lot cleaner and a lot better looks rather than rushing into some of the offenses that they were trying to do last time.
So far in this series, both teams have one catch. Ravache catching for Ottawa in Game 1, Cupid catching for New York in Game 2. So a little bit of a rubber match here, at least in the flag runner game. See which team has a better shot or better flag runner record coming out of this series at the end of it. Meanwhile, I think Titans, two goals here besides the flag runner, come out of this game with no injuries. They don't want to jinx them, don't want to do the announcer jinx, but so far so good for Titans, and that's something you always want to come out of a series with, especially as we get deeper into the summer and a 3 or 4 week injury starting to be in the zone where it might threaten championships. But 2, I think end the game as fast as possible. It's hot out here. It's been a long series so far for these players. And while they haven't really played any, I think, super stressful minutes, it's still something they want to end. Meanwhile, Ottawa, I think their main goal is definitely the flag runner. Obviously, teams always have the goal of not getting any injuries. Ottawa already down one player. They certainly don't want to go down another. And I think for them, it really should just be focused on catching that flag runner. A goal or two here might be a little bit of a morale boost. They have not been shut out this series. I think that's noteworthy against the defending East champs. As New York is now heading back out to their brooms. They are going to run some subs. Lindsay Morella in this one. Jason Wu in the green headband. It's like Ehrlich and Mullins are going to stay out there. Avery Olivar, I believe, is subbing in. That's going to be Eric Paguada, starting seeker for Titans. Have not seen him in yellow so far this series. Balasa heading over to the sidelines. It's going to be Shakti Kodeshwaran in for him out of this 20-minute stoppage. Naftel and Rake in the beating pair for Ottawa. Antoine Barasa in green. Miranda Naftel. Aya Tessier. Oh, actually, Zach Rakin's in white. Something we haven't seen all series. My mistake there. Alexander Ravache is going to be the second beater with Emily Naftel. So a little bit of a new look here from Ottawa. And they are going to send Wadike out to seek. Ravache, I believe, was the starting seeker in each of the first 2 games here. Though Wadike had an excellent super series a few weeks ago with the yellow headband. So once again, score is 16-1 in favor of New York. The set score is 22. Flag runner catch is worth 3. We're getting the announcement of the current score before we get brooms up. When we get brooms up, there will be a 10-second countdown for the flag runners. So off the good goal here from New York, Antoine Barasa walks over to pick up the dead quad ball at his hoops. That makes the quad ball live. Seekers are released. Mullins immediately going to beat out Wadike. Wadike just not stepping inbounds, cannot be beat, which is really killing Mullins' time. Kind of a weird strategy, but a funny one, I think. Barasa, far side, marks by Wu, gets the pass near side. through the hands of Naftal and knocked down by Coda Warren. Eventually, Wadike does sub in and get beat out. Looks like Wadike is basically out there just to have somebody with the yellow headband on. So he looks absolutely exhausted, and Paguada immediately catches. A good catch makes it 19-1 in favor of New York, and of course, they would only need 3 more goals to end this one. The catch is good, so 19-1 is our score here. A very, very quick catch there for Eric Paguada in his first Seeker stint of the series. We'll see here now, Jason Wu ball handling, if New York can add a goal on top of that to have a quick 4-0 swing. Morella far side option, Olivar near side down low. The pass goes to Morella. She's coming around the corner, gonna be met out high, so the pass goes back to Wu. Mullins in front of Wu. Kodeshwaran has it at the top of the key. Dances in the shot. Teardrop, 20-1. Titans 2 away. Ottawa looking for their second goal of the game. They are now running some subs. Going to be Howden in the white headband for the Black Bears as Barasa now does come over half. It's a 2 triangle and 1, I think, back into a 2-2 as Morella's kind of this floating defender here. Beat on Naftal by Ehrlich. Ehrlich then throws a dodgeball right into the ground in front of Barasa. Gives Barasa time and space. He gets it to Naftal. Naftal's shot is knocked down by Olivar. And ultimately a stop for Titans, but really not a great look there from Jacob Ehrlich, as control is also handed over to Ottawa. Ehrlich now with Wu, who is ball handling. Mullins far side looking to help win control here for Titans. Pass over the top to Kodeshwaran. Kodeshwaran with the delay puts it home, 21-1. Titans just need 1, and the Ottawa defense at this point looks like they are not interested in running. Potentially the last chance at a goal here for Ottawa's Tessa Mullins is really trying to get a surprise attack here, come from behind on the Ottawa beaters to win control right before the game ends. Hildebrand now back in green headband. Wadike in white ball handling gets it to Hildebrand right as they step over the line. That was a close call there. Ravash and Naftal with control for Ottawa. 1.5 Naftal going to be running at Ehrlich. Ehrlich steps around, presses up. Exactly how you want to defend a 1.5 as Kodeshwaran knocks down the pass to Howden. Howden gets beat out. Kodeshwaran keeps it slow as Hildebrand is looking to play aggressive defense. Wu now also slows it up. Again, there's 2 dodgeballs back for Ottawa as they look to live for 1 more possession. A goal for Titans ends the game and ends the series in a sweep. Lindsay Morella calling for a crossing pattern. She gets it to Wu. Wu driving in. Wu hits the shot top hoop right over the hands of Wadike. And New York Titans end the series with their best game of the day. Final score 22-1. Eric Paguada with the catch for Titans, and that is a 3-0 sweep here for New York on home turf. Naresh, we've been talking, obviously, as the games haven't been too close throughout the day, about takeaways throughout. But now that the series is officially over, before we sign off, I'd say what is your big takeaway here? We'll start with Ottawa.
Yeah, with Ottawa, I think we've said it all series. They have spurts of energy, and I think strategically, we actually are very happy with a lot of the stuff that they do. I think biggest thing for Ottawa is cleaning up their passing and catching, and that's a lot of that can be done through personal efforts. So that's something I'm looking forward to seeing from Ottawa going forward, because I think strategically they can match up against anyone. For New York, I think a large part of games 1 and 2, our disappointment was they didn't look crisp. They didn't look as efficient as they needed to be. But in that game 3, they were coming out, finding the open passes, taking space, and just getting the easy looks. And when they were on, every look that they got looked easy. And all of that was because their ball carriers were just taking space and finding their open passes. And so I'd like for them to be able to continue doing that, especially against Charlotte in a few weeks. And then obviously come champs when they play the North or South 2.
Yeah, I mean, again, Ottawa, I think they're a team that's a lot better than most people give them credit for. And it's really a shame they can never face Charlotte in a one-on-one series. Those two teams, being the furthest north and the furthest south in the East, always meet each other at the Super Series. And I really think that hinders Ottawa's ability to maybe pull a game off, who has consistently been the fourth place team in the East. Meanwhile, Titans, Tate K, Devin Lee, Josh Johnson, not rostered. They get it done anyway. My big takeaway, especially for team scouting, maybe it was just today, maybe it was just because it was dominant, Titans beaters look terrible. K and Lee are their two best beaters. Neither of them were rostered, but everybody else has huge question marks. I don't think anybody on that beating side should be confident they will make the roster going into champs. I think they really, really need to clean up before Charlotte. And that I don't think they're going to have trouble with Charlotte. I think Charlotte is going to get swept. Let me be clear about that. However, Charlotte's beaters are better than Ottawa's, especially head coach Cody LeBove. And I think if this is what your beater depth looks like here, you're going to be seeing a lot of Tate K and Devin Lee at championships, unless New York can clean up that beater depth.
Yeah, and I think that might sound harsh, but it's one of those things where if, again, every team, every opponent, obviously Ottawa's not going to be the toughest opposition, but your beaters should still trust the process and put together good efforts. And I think for a lot of what you were saying, Keegan, was their beaters knew they had the advantage and they almost felt entitled to some of the plays, it felt like, and that's why they were throwing balls away. They were missing short range beats, and that's almost inexcusable. So I think that's one of those things where I think come Charlotte, I think come champs, that is something they will clean up. But if they don't, that's where, as you said, they might have to rely on the Tate K's and Devin Lee's on this team to be able to continue to carry them forward. But I think Tessa Mullins not having played a lot of game two, and they still showed that they can compete at a very high level. So it's one of those things where Titans, yeah, they've been the favorites the entire summer, but they need to go in there feeling like the underdog, feeling whether that's a motivation thing, get some newspaper clippings and get that motivation intrinsically. But if they go in feeling as if they are the best team, that's when upsets can happen.
All right, so we are going to sign off now. Once again, New York Titans sweep the Ottawa Black Bears on home turf. They also clinch their spot at MLQ Championships this August in Howard County, Maryland. Please join us later on today on the MLQ Network to watch League City face off against San Antonio in the Series of the Week. That one should be a real good series.